I watched a video that proved that the first player of Connect 4 can always win. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that until recently.
Huh. Oh.
Like, mathematically...
You can always win if you go first.
The first player can always win if they play a perfect game. Mm-hmm. They always have a first opportunity to win.
Oh, but if the second player has a perfect game, they still have a chance of not winning?
I mean, unless there's some error made, then the second player can win.
Mm.
Can't you mulligan in that?
Can you?
If you're playing a gentleman's game of Connect 4, sure. But
the mulligan is like the most difficult thing to do on that game alone, because the mulligan, you're like, oh no, you have to like get chopsticks and like pull it out, like...
I meant like a cat's game, not a mulligan at all. But
mulligan on chess, sure. On Connect 4, though, you just drop something in just forever.
I went up there, so I'm going to drop two at the same time.
All right. So if you make your own rules up, then yeah, it changes.
The way you said that was like a Transylvanian. It's the 2-0 It was perfect.
My cereal.
The whole meaning of the words were lost on me because I was hung up on how you said it.
Well, I wish my old GameStop boss from like 2001. He was Romanian, and man, he was incredibly hilarious. Not on purpose, though. He was funny.
Is this offensive or no?
It's very offensive.
Okay, let's continue. In that case,
I have a couple of friends from that old GameStop that I still talk to a lot, and they can corroborate this. But like, he used to always talk about how Romania is where Transylvania is, and that makes him.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh. Is it like? Dang it! The They Might Be Giant song.
Istanbul and Constantinople?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That was
okay.
Istanbul, not Constantinople?
Don't you have a date?
He used to just always say like that made him like part Dracula. And,
Part Dracula.
He's so cool because of it. But yeah, it's funny. And he always had an accent. And he used to always jingle his pants. He used to also say dude a lot. Dude.
He's best. He's best, bro.
He's not cool.
Best in Europe.
Cool.
Best in Eastern Europe block.
It's not cool. Then he jiggled his pants. He always had keys hanging from a fucking... I was like, dude, it's not cool.
It's not cool. Stop jiggling your pants at me. Dude.
So he said part Dracula?
Yeah.
Not part like vampire, but specifically...
No, Dracula.
Part Vlad Tepes, like he is a descendant.
Right. That's all Romanians, apparently.
Sure.
But he used to always... He didn't get American
Dracula
slang.
got around.
Yeah,
he
Dracula see just everywhere in Romania, and then there's my children. The whole nation is his progeny.
He didn't get American slang too... he didn't get it too correct all the time. So he'd always say... people sometimes ask, how much is this? And you're like... this is back in 2001, but he said the word bones, like it's 10 bones, like for a dollar.
Right.
But he'd always be like, oh, that's 1999 bones. And so,
it's not even like laughable or wrong, it's adorable.
I know, it's funny. So like me and my friend Chris, we still do that. We're like, how much is that? Oh, it's 796 bones.
I want to do that. That's what.
But he felt so cool saying it too. 1999 bones, bro.
Yeah, dude.
And
then he'd jiggle his pants. Yeah, you got it. I hope he doesn't listen to this podcast. We're not recording this, are you? Are you totally recording?
That was, I hope he doesn't listen to this podcast, is where we're going to
right.
enter.
Hello, and welcome all to MultiTap Theatre. The following is an entertainment show with special focus on the modern and retro gaming eras. Explicit language and content is utilized for emphasis and flourish, so please monitor children's listening. Yes, listener discretion is most gravely advised. The hosts welcome all audiences and encourage audience participation in most forms. Any visual or oral resemblance to any person living, famous, or deceased is strictly intentional. And now, for your listening pleasure, MultiTap Theatre podcast.
Oh, we should do the thing now.
Yeah, let's start it off.
We should do that
Intro.
What's that called? How do I do this again?
J-Pip.
JPEGs.
J-Pipe.
Is that J-Bones?
Justin Piper
Bones. I forgot how we do this.
You do an intro song.
Anyway.
Oh! And then we say,
Welcome to
MultiTap, everybody. Actually, I think that's going to be it. Welcome to MultiTap, everybody. The MultiTap Theatre / podcast, whatever you want to call it. I'm the moderator.
Not actually a theatre.
No, not technically a theatre.
The
This is
Mind's Eye
actually
Theatre.
the MultiTap living room.
Mind's Eye Theatre.
Welcome.
Vampire the Masquerade.
Yas.
Yeah. LARPing.
I'm Justin. We're gonna go left.
I'm Aaron.
I'm Irene.
And this is our guest from the land of the rising sun, from the land down under.
I'm the guest
Which
that's
is-
regularly on.
Yeah. Welcome back.
Once
Thanks.
you
What's
leave
your
the
name?
country,
Chris.
Okay.
start over.
That's what they call me.
Who?
The
Me.
Japanese.
No, who calls you that?
Most people.
I call you Chris Bones.
Chris Bones.
I was gonna have something. I didn't do it in time because we already introduced ourselves. I was gonna be like, we're gonna go around the left, and I'm gonna have you do your best impersonation of you.
Oh.
Oh, that was a good one.
Might
we're not
be
gonna-
like this.
we're gonna do that.
Because my voice always sounds like this to me.
It's so high. Why?
That's what it sounds like when I hear myself recorded.
What about you?
I'm in Canada like a fat
Doing the
Do you do anything like that or no?
No, I don't think I do.
Do you just sound like that? Not like that, but
I still sound different from what I think I do, but everybody does.
Yeah, when you hear
Yeah.
yourself through a speaker, it's always weird.
mine is higher too. I think actually podcasting has stopped all that because I now am used to the voice that comes through on the radio all the time or through the. This cat, it's like, hey, guess what?
Rio has wedged herself in between two laptops.
And a
She
microphone, 2 laptops, and a
you-
microphone.
If you ever create any type of cave type simulation, she'll be in it.
Rio, the star of Cave
We'll
Story.
seek it out.
We actually had reader mail again, which I was hella happy about. Like, we had a bunch of reader mail last time. And then, like, 3 reader mails this time, which was nice. One of the reader mails was, like, reader mail, an 8-parter reader mail, which was...
Very long.
We'll get to that. There's trivia. There will be another 4-part trivia. But I'm the host this time instead of Irene. Is going round robin. It's my turn. So I did research and I found questions. I'm bringing it back. Top 3 is Aaron's. This is going to be top 3 glorious returns because of Chris's glorious
Well,
return
welcome back our friend Chris.
from the land of the dead. Okay. Exciting news. Aside from Malaysia Airlines, Irene, we're discussing Illusion to Gaia today.
I know.
Damn it.
I'm so
Like,
excited.
come hell or high water, we're discussing this game.
Excitement.
Finally.
Damn it. There's a who would win, as always, and then we'll end the show. But
Your favorite part.
we'll begin with my favorite part, listener mail. Because I love when listeners...
Knowing that we're doing this for
I love
not
when
just
listeners
us.
listen, yeah. We had a guy named Zach write in. His last name is Toll. What up, Zach? Half of us know Zach, or actually 3/4 of us know Zach. But he mailed in. He said, right now I see the show about 50-50, half informative, half pure comic genius, with 6 dots afterwards.
A lot of ellipses.
And a lot of really has. Your whole cast works really well together. I gotta say, doing a trivia game on a title you all clearly know nothing about was awesome. Slightly
I don't
offensive.
say nothing about it.
Right.
Those were tough questions.
I'm gonna reference the last podcast and say I think we got close to 120 points each, or 100, however many, 140.
They were very specific, like what monsters that do use this attack and what monsters drop this item. That's stuff you can only remember if you've played the game in the past, like
What character does
couple
Blitz?
years,
You're like,
so
oh, well. That's,
Chupon.
that's Mog.
Well,
I remember Chupon.
Irene's smarter than the rest of us.
I don't know. Maybe I've just played that game a lot.
Yeah, no, I think we know that game, just not as well as obviously we should have. That's all.
In any event, Zach thinks we should do it again. He thinks we're all funny. All in all, you guys tend to get a little lost at times, but how dare you?
Scandal.
But all of the ingredients for an awesome talk show are there. I like this next bit. This is why I put this in. And we were talking about foreign import expensive Whole Foods ingredients, not Walmart shit. I just got a giggle out of that. The way that was worded, it was good. Episode 2 was much better than 1, so keep on locking it down. We all knew that ahead of time too, because that first episode, the lost one, was trash.
Well, it's like a beta.
It wasn't
Well, the
trash. It was
The first
I liked
one,
it.
like the very first one.
That was just us talking. That wasn't even like a real.
That was
But it was
craziness.
still entertaining.
Entertaining,
I
sure.
thought.
Yeah, that was
Interesting.
fun.
That was still trash.
Us defending ourselves against listeners.
I wouldn't
I
throw
know.
it away.
Fuck you, listener.
Shut your mouth.
Also, this is the more important thing. We didn't hear enough Irene or Aaron the last episode, and it was give us more with 4 exclamation points. I almost put 5 on there. 5th one for him.
He is so serious about this guy.
You guys
And
like,
he's a little. It's a little true.
It is. We're still working out the balance and stuff like that.
That's true. You guys have
this is
beautiful
episode
voices.
3. We need to give more spotlight to Aaron and Irene for sure.
Let's remember, though, today, you and I are doing trivia. Clearly, I'm going to be talking a lot more. Mm-hmm. We can't forget you. But we can't forget
She's keeping
you.
score.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
No, we're not going to forget you. We got
Don't ever forget me. I make my presence known. No, it's better if we forget a little bit of me because like this, we're so heavy on this show.
You're
Like,
already
we just kind of.
It's not on purpose, sorry.
It's not.
Well,
We don't mean to drown you
gotta
out.
be.
We love you.
Yeah. I'd like to hear more from Aaron and Irene too.
So we agree with you, Zach Toll.
We're gonna get more.
Thank you for
we're
writing
gonna get
in.
more Aaron and Irene in here.
And write again this next week because
Oh,
we'll try to work on all of these things. And there was another one from. I'm gonna head this up. This was my brother that posted in, but he was upset about something from episode 1, not even 2, but 1, about our MOBA talk. And he wanted to be on that episode because he
Is he a
plays
MOBA
nothing
player?
but MOBA. Yeah,
Oh,
like,
jeez.
well, he does Diablo too, but he loves MOBA.
go ahead and read it. Go ahead and read it.
Okay. Hello, MultiTap crew. He says, long-time listener, first-time writer. So this is episode 3.
Potentially, he's listened to all of our episodes though.
He has, I think, except for the lost episode. But I don't think if you haven't listened to the lost episode, you're not a true listener yet.
Is he a multi-tap hipster? Like he was in on it before it was cool.
He will probably this episode we're recording will probably be the first he listens to.
He has been listening to your voice since before you were podcasting.
That's also true. Long time listener, first time writer. On the I'm sorry, that was so gold for a beginning podcast. This is the best thing to say. On the subject of MOBA games from episode 1, I urge you all to check out the game Smite, which I'm actually familiar with because I've seen him play it. Made by High Res Studios. It is similar to WoW PvP mixed with League of Legends Store, that's pretty accurate. It's a free-to-play, but instead of champions, they are gods from many different varieties.
Oh, I've seen this before.
Hindu, Chinese, Greek, Roman, Norse. They have that big pantheon you just choose from. They'll release Anubis this week, and they'll release Odin this next week.
Anubis was
Oh,
a
nice.
launch hero.
Was it?
Yeah.
They'll release... So you know Smite,
Yeah, that's why I was like,
but you didn't... Okay, so we'll do that at the end of this.
No.
Unlike League of Legends, I would recommend more praise of this game because of being a true free-to-play. I think what he means is he says you don't have to pay any money to purchase vanity skins for your gods you've unlocked. So you don't have to buy gods on that game, and you don't have to buy skins. Like, that is a true free-to-play. The only thing you pay for, I think, on that one is convenience? Or you can pay for characters. I think he says on it, the gods... You don't have to spend real money on gods, but give the option of a one-time purchase for $30 for everybody.
To be
But he
unlocked.
thought that needed to be brought up.
I played Smite.
Sure.
I think the $30 thing's over. They did, it was like pre-release because the game was in beta for a long time.
They've released a shitload of heroes. Since
Oh,
then,
yeah,
too.
they
So
keep
$30 would
coming
be
out.
a huge
If
you
you
just
enjoy-
get everybody.
If you
for-
enjoy the game, then yeah, buying like all the champions in League would break
oh
you.
my gosh, yeah.
But
They're thousands deep now.
they have like 108. But
Well, it's because of like $5 a character, right?
oh
We're
yeah,
talking about dollars.
Yeah,
Yeah,
1,000
1,000
USD. $1,000 bones.
28,000 riot points bones.
Right, points, bones.
Smite had some fun things going for it. I thought it was all right. It was not my favorite, and it does, unless they change something with the skins, it does the exact same thing League does. You can unlock everyone by playing the game. You won't.
It doesn't have the same dynamic as League. It's not
Yeah,
quite
it's
fair to
playing-
put those two because the other one's turret combat. That one's like just. This one is way more WoW PvP.
Well, it's
like
played in
just champ
third
on champ.
person. It's played in third person. Does a similar game mode where there are the lanes, but then there's also like an arena fight where you just run at each other.
And it's very fast paced. Like
Yeah, it can
it's
be.
hard to control because it's almost Quake like, but it doesn't have the.
I would not put it anywhere near Quake.
Well, it doesn't have the
You
maneuverability
don't
of
just
Quake.
bring up Quake like it's close.
I would say it falls flat from Quake. Like the Quake had more maneuverability than Smite does. Instead, it's just this. You're twitching around to try to get control of this character. And just blasting everything you have at the other person, hoping you're alive, and if not, running. So
Sounds good. Sounds like something I don't. Cause I'm not a.
you should
big
try it
MOBA.
because it's free. He
Yeah.
says completely free.
I've had trouble getting into MOBA games, and
This actually might be your gateway
yeah,
drug.
that sounds more like something I'd like.
If you like fast paced and you like free, This is the one. I've seen him play it. I don't know if it's my type of thing. He's tried to get me into it before, and I just installed it on one computer. I played like a round or two, and I was like, because I don't even really do League.
Yeah,
I'm not a
I don't
big
either.
MOBA player in the first place.
Can't get into it. I've tried.
It's not done in the standard isometric view. A good starter MOBA, Awesome Knots.
Oh yeah,
Osmos is the one I've played the most, actually.
I
It's
love
from our
that one.
lands and stuff. And it's fun. I get destroyed in it every single time, but it's fun.
you guys! I just got hella excited.
Why?
Because I just realized I set this up. I'm a big idiot, but I set this up. Like I did the things and I put the structure up for this show, and I forgot that trivia starts so early. Like it starts now.
Let's go.
We read that
Read a
second
trivia
one, so
song.
it
Read
begins.
trivia music.
What's trivia?
Perfect.
We're getting sued.
So, thanks, Zach and John,
Thank you
Thank you
guys.
both.
writing in.
And then
And the other people who apparently wrote in that I didn't hear about that Justin is hogging himself that aren't worth mention, thank you as well.
Yes,
I have hidden them away in
forever.
a
and
tall,
ever.
tall tower.
For later, when no one writes in,
When
we go
no
back to
one-
our old listener mail.
Yeah, and they'll be like, why are those comments ancient? Like referencing episode 1.
A new help.
Those are actually not other people. Those were things that I wrote to the show under different
I was gonna say,
monikers.
you at least used an alias.
Yeah, what's an alias?
It's a moniker.
Moniker. Yes, I did use an alias. I used 2 alii because I wrote in as 2 different people. Alii?
Alienware.
Sure.
I had an Alienware computer.
In any event,
That's when you lost.
yeah, we lost already.
We lost already?
Yeah.
Which one of us
Trivia.
has to talk like an idiot?
This trivia, me, because I lost it for us. This trivia is totally N64 related, and I wasn't excited at first because I did play a lot of N64, but I was like, what do I do? I have to scour the internet for different facts and stuff like that, and I just started getting the swing of it. Researching for trivia is actually not that hard. It's actually kind of fun.
Cool.
So I ended up getting really psyched about it, and now I'm pumped to do this.
Yeah, you're right in
You
the
should be.
questions, so...
I did, yeah. So there's that. So this is actually I put the rules down on here. I think it's going to go a little differently. Same rules as last time, mostly. Tap out rules still apply, but I want to do how we did at the end, like a shout your name kind of thing, which is like Chris, Aaron, and you're like I heard Chris first, and then
Oh, how do we buzz in? We say our names?
yes,
Okay.
you shout your name real quick. Chris, Chris, it's you.
Okay.
Mine has 2
You're like-
syllables. Seems kind of fake.
Aaron.
Earn.
Or just go,
Me! Damn it!
whoever I hear first, you can say cockamamie, and I would.
That's so many syllables.
Yeah, but I'd hear cock, and you're like, he said cockamamie first before you said Chris.
You said cock first. so-
You said cock before you said Chris.
I could buzz in with cock. I could do that.
Could
Phrasing.
you? All right. Good to know. Good
Yes.
to know.
Also, it should be noted that this is another little bit. Our friend Mike Galogli added in he suggested that we add some multiple choice, which I have already taken the liberty of doing for this round. And then he's I don't think we're going to do this time, or we might, I guess. But he said wrong answers and time ups should be penalized points.
It's a lot for the scorekeeper to.
That's true. Well, that's if you want to take it on as scorekeeper. If
We
you
do
don't
think
want
you're
to,
very
then I
smart.
mean, but I mean, we wouldn't have gotten anywhere near 100
No.
points last time.
We
We would have been in the
points.
negatives.
Yeah, we would have owed Jeopardy money.
It would have been negative 16 to negative 15.
Well, that's because you were forced to buzz in before
Yeah.
because it was your turn. The ability to buzz in and be like, me! Oh no, and then you lose points.
That's
That
true.
makes more sense.
Yeah.
This
we
might
don't
fix
buzz in.
itself. But yeah. So, with that said, on to the
Without
trivia.
further to do.
This first installment is on general, like system knowledge. No peeksies.
And-
No takesies, backsies.
Okay, and we're buzzing in.
We're going to start off.
Okay.
Number 1. Why is the number 64 significant in the system's title?
Chris,
Chris.
64 bits.
Yeah. I was actually sitting there hesitating. I'm like, really? This is what you went with? Chris! Oh.
Yes! Don't think that.
I'm like, because it was going to beat the Jaguar.
Yes. Question number 2. Name one of the code names Nintendo used for the
Chris.
64. Chris.
Project, or Ultra 64.
Ultra 64
Project
was
Cross
yes.
Zone.
And Project Revolution. The other one?
Project-
That was GameCube, right? Oh,
Reality.
Reality.
I was thinking Dolphin, and that was not it. That was
Yes.
a different one.
Number 3.
Thank you, right?
Number 3.
Well, What was the GameCube?
That was what was the GameCube? Tell me.
That's not your question.
What was the game?
Do the next one.
What was the
Released by
Number 3. At what price point did it release?
Chris?
Yeah.
Chris.
$199.99 bones.
It's 200 on here, but yes, that's completely correct. With American tax and whatever.
With American tax.
American tax.
Bone tax.
I
Don't
very
get
much
around it.
remember the launch. I was at Toys R Us
Yeah.
for the launch.
There was a thing where, like, a guy got his paycheck from his first job. They're like, here's your first paycheck, son. It's $199.99. He's like, I quit, and he bought into a 64
Right.
with it. I'm like, what about tax? All right.
Yeah, what about Taxi, jackass?
Awesome. I should have put commercials on here too. Get in or get out. Number 4. What part of the N64 logo is colored yellow?
Chris.
Aaron.
The border?
The border?
The border of the...
Negative.
No.
I'm so good at this game.
Negative.
I'll guess.
5.
Far
The
enough.
shat under the letters, like the. I'm not sure how to describe it. The 3D part of it, like the letters were like green and
Like
underneath it was yellow.
The
I
shadow of the
see.
legs.
Yeah,
Negative.
Is it one of the legs?
Oh, it's the
of
it's the
end?
tops.
It's pretty much the border.
It's the
Okay.
top.
That's like the
So
border.
It's the
technically,
top, it's the
Chris
top
gets
planes.
a negative since you said you
You
were
did,
gonna-
yeah.
We both get negatives.
We both
Pretty-
get negatives.
Okay.
Bum,
That's
bum,
true. You
bum.
can't say each other.
Do I stop at 0 or do I
Yes,
go
it's
negative
0.
like Jeopardy, where I owe the producers?
That's the
I'll
score
figure
here.
it out. You owe me.
Thanks for wasting me and America's
$500
time.
As soon as you get a question right, you get it taken away. Oh my.
I have it in 64 right there.
I know. I didn't want to look.
Oh, I can't see that.
Number 5. What is the peripheral that allows for controller
Aaron.
vibration? Aaron.
The Rumble Pack.
Aaron.
Well, I'm like,
Finish the question.
how many peripherals were there? Probably just the Rumble Pack is where he went with this.
Pretty
Just
much.
a couple.
Expansion
There's a
pack.
memory. There's a memory card.
Memory card,
That's
Rumble
true.
Pack.
Yeah.
I figured
but
you went
really
Rumble
just
Pack.
Rumble Pack.
Yeah, they're really just a roll.
There's the
I'm glad you
Pokemon
said your name this time.
transfers.
Chris.
Yeah, you said Chris last
Crash.
Right.
You realized halfway through that wasn't your name.
Wait,
I was
my
thinking
name's
like
not
cock again.
Chris. Chris, do you want to take this one? Or?
Call it in.
Maybe that's how you screw somebody or
Yeah.
tap somebody.
That's too
No,
complicated.
no.
Too complicated.
Too
Right.
complicated.
Yeah.
Number 6. In what year was the Nintendo 64
Chris.
released?
1996.
Goodness gracious me. Bonus question.
What price point it?
In what year was it released in Japan?
Chris.
Chris.
96.
I thought it was a bonus question. It was yours, but
That's true.
Oh.
Freaking people. Number 7. Last and final of this round. We're going quickly.
Dun, dun, dun.
Which of these was not a color in which the N64 system was released in America?
Oh.
In America. Gold, orange, white, pink.
Yeah.
Chris.
Chris. Ooh.
That was close.
That was close.
Did we do it?
That was a
Rochambeau?
How about we give our answer?
Roshams.
Ooh, Rochambeau.
Ooh.
I should
That's
not.
2 out of 3.
We only did 2 out of 3.
You should have learned from the podcast.
You can't beat that.
Nothing beats that.
I do it.
I'll do it 2 out of 3 now.
Whatever,
2 out
take
of
it.
3.
Nothing beats rock. Go.
I threw rock. I always throw rock, and you know this. When a
I know.
conversation,
I'm like, he's gonna not throw rock this time. Clearly.
I would have done rock 3 times if we did.
Go for it.
I'm gonna say white.
You're very correct.
Were you gonna say white?
Oh.
I didn't even pay attention to white. I was gonna say orange.
Oh, okay, that was orange.
I'm real good at this.
Okay.
Clearly,
That's
I'm
the end of.
I am a worthy combatant.
That's the end of. So you're getting the tenor for this game. It's not too hard,
No, those system ones were pretty basic.
but yeah, that's the end of that. And I don't have the show notes up, so I'm breaking the fourth wall right now because I need to find out what we're supposed to do next.
There's
Somebody tell me.
Next is bringing it back
There's only like 2 walls anyway. We're ready to
with
go.
This has been bringing it back on the MultiTap podcast. Talking about video games, talking about things they missed from gaming. Bringing it back on the MultiTap podcast. Talking about retro, wearing that cool nostalgic icons. think that's happening this week.
Post-production.
Yes, for this episode. So listeners, when they're hearing this, are going to be like, "But I just heard the song." So
Fixing the post.
This week's
Fixing it in post.
Bringing It Back, we're going to discuss in honor of GDC passing this week, and that's not to make it sound like a diet.
GDC.
GDC concluding
Yeah.
earlier this week. Most of the biggest talk there was about virtual reality and Oculus Rift and Project Morpheus, and which I personally think is great. I'm a huge fan.
We talked about this on Fistful
Oculus Rift.
Potions about a little bit, and they said
Okay.
like Project Morpheus is the coolest name ever. And I kept just thinking, you think that's air you're breathing?
Yeah, and his
Jeez.
stupid little smirk he does after that. Yeah,
The weird glasses that reflected.
they could make a lot of cool. They could do the VR headset with just glasses that clip onto your nose. That'd be
Yeah,
amazing.
We had a question about this for Jason on Fistful, and he said, "Is it really top? Because it looks really top heavy. It's
Yeah.
all like up here, and is it uncomfortable on the bridge of your nose?"
Yeah.
The question, or the answer we got, I guess, eventually was that if you're playing for more than about an hour, it starts to like get irritated.
Oh, really?
But what if you're in some game like Skyrim that's all VR and stuff, and you want to play for 6-8 hours like people do on Skyrim, and you can't hack more than an hour?
You get the counterweight on the back of your head.
There you go.
A brick with a string is just.
Get some sort of Mad Catz or Pelican accessory that puts a nose cushion. I don't know.
And some
There's a nose
fans
cushion on there, I
inside your
think.
Oh, okay.
Stop being a weakling.
Stop being
Such a wiener in game.
Stop being a damn wiener kid and just.
Get out of here, wiener kid.
That's definitely going to be. I mean, anytime you're wearing something like that, I mean, even if it's made
Right.
incredibly well, over the course of a few hours, it's going to
Just wear
start to get
glasses.
cumbersome.
You have to
Right.
take them off and like.
Like that eyepiece where you keep yelling fire to shoot.
Oh my god, that's going to be on my list.
Oh,
So
wait, was that for a Nerf gun? Fire,
No,
fire, fire, fire!
That was also one
You
for a
could
super
use-
soaker, but
that's right.
a squirt gun. But yeah,
Yeah. No, but because of the virtual reality stuff that's been all the buzz, it made me start thinking about old retro accessories that were somewhat virtual reality-esque back in the day, like the thing he's talking about that was called the laser scope. I'm not sure if anybody remembers that. I
Yeah.
actually had one of those when I was a kid, but
you?
I wrote down a list.
Hell.
I was on a list of just some right off the top of my head that I remember that were just crazy, and Aaron actually added one to it, the Handy Boy, which we'll talk about. But, so,
Handy boy.
virtual reality's been attempted in the past. I mean, not to this scale, obviously, but I mean, they had the Virtual Boy, which essentially was a goggle headset you put next to your face, and it produced 3D images. I mean, it gave you a mad headache if you played it more than like 15 minutes because it's all red and
what was it?
black.
2 or
So I'm worried
3
about for the Oculus.
levels of distance.
Something like that. It was pretty impressive for a second. I think it's still pretty impressive. If you turn that thing on right now and pop in like Red Alarm, which is like a Star Fox type game, or Tellero Boxer, or Mario Tennis, the 3D is pretty. I mean, it works. It totally works. The system itself is super cumbersome. And, I mean, it's not portable by any means,
You
but
don't wear it.
You can
don't
never
wear
break
it.
ground unless you attempt to break conventions. So, like, if you try and fail, that's way better than just staying in the safe zone.
I agree,
because you're
dude.
just gaming stagnates.
I agree, and that's why I really
You applaud
liked-
the Virtual Boy for having done it.
I do. I applaud I bought the Virtual Boy, and I thought it was cool. I was pissed because the Virtual Boy only had like a handful of games come out for it, and of those, there's only a few that were really good. There's never any super standout titles. Wario Land was probably the best one.
Good.
That's the only, as far as I remember, the only console Waterworld game, like Kevin Costner.
Ooh, you know how I feel about Waterworld.
It's the most.
knows how I feel about Waterworld.
Waterworld on Virtual Boy is as far as I can know, is the most expensive Virtual Boy game like in existence. I think. I can't. I don't have facts behind that, but it's
That's a good face.
It's stupid because
This
it's
is too
just
bad
rare.
this is just radio, because that
Yeah.
was like a meme face. What?
But the Virtual Boy never got it right, man. It ate up 6 AA batteries in a matter of like an hour and a half.
But nobody ever, that's like 6 gaming sessions for the Virtual Boy, so
It's true.
never ever noticed ever.
But beyond that, you know what, as I was going through these, a lot of them were for the NES. The NES had a lot of accessories that tried to push the envelope and never really succeeded. The Power Glove is probably the most famous one. The Power Glove
Dang.
is ambitious as hell and actually pretty much tries to do what the Wiimote does now. I mean, it's a full motion control system. That kid, what's his name, Lucas from The Wizard?
Yes.
Made it look hella cool playing Rad Racer. It doesn't play Rad Racer very well.
It doesn't play it like
But it doesn't
Lucas
play
played it.
anything well. No, it doesn't. Lucas played it incorrectly. Actually, like if you see him like I think he's like making a fist or something. I don't think that does
It's
anything
like
in
he's
Rad Racer.
on a steering wheel.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what
like he's on a
doing.
steering wheel. Yeah, and that doesn't. I don't think it detects that at all. You have to
Well,
like,
that
physically
shows
move
you
your
that
hand left.
They
and
had
right.
ideas like we should be able
Right.
to do this, but it couldn't. It was past the limitation of the
Right,
But it's
didn't.
TV. It's
It didn't
film.
work that well.
Right.
But it was totally like a virtual reality thing. Like when you saw someone playing, you saw a kid playing Rad Racer, you moving his hand, you're like, holy shit,
It's so bad.
We
it's
could
so
do
bad.
this.
Yeah, we can do this. Power Glove was one.
Jeez, now.
The laser scope was the other one. Laser scope you wore on your head. It had this eyepiece that went around like a Dragon Ball scouter.
I did have that one.
You did have that?
Yeah,
You can
both
yell.
John and I had that.
And that one actually, at least in my memory, it worked pretty well. I played Duck Hunt with it, and I used to play Top Gun with it. Like you can, it has this infrared crosshair that it puts on the little
Right.
like translucent
Screen
eyepiece
little-
or whatever that you
yeah,
look through, and
a little
you
chunk of plastic.
right,
Right.
point that at the screen, and it's voice activated. You're supposed to say fire, but you can actually say anything into it.
Yeah, as long as it detects the voice.
Yeah.
Penis. And then penis was the spell word that made that thing on it. It killed a duck.
Powered
It works pretty good though.
cock.
Do you guys remember the activator? The activator.
until you tell me what it is.
It was for Genesis.
No.
It was this octagon circle that you put on the ground, and you stood in the middle of it, and then you did like attacks, like kicks and punches. They used to advertise it with
Do
Mortal
you
Kombat.
remember that one?
I did, none of my friends had this, and I did not have it. I didn't get a Genesis until late, like later. I had an N64 or SNES, played the hell out of it. Later on, got a SNES or a
Genesis?
Why am I bad at this today? Got a Genesis. After it was relevant, everybody was done playing Vector Man and
You know what I
Kombat and
wanted
stuff like that.
super bad was the Sega Channel.
Sega
I
Channel.
wanted that so
Oh.
bad.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
continue cast Sega Channel Dad.
Channel.
Some guy has on a different podcast. He's got a stepdad that's a Sega Channel dad because his dad wasn't in his life.
Oh,
So
I could have used a Sega Channel, Dad.
we all have a Sega Channel dad. If you think about like video gaming, what's my dad? For
Sega Channel was awesome. It's super ambitious, but nobody had fucking
Right.
internet.
no support.
No, not at all.
Didn't you plug a coax cable into it?
I thought you plugged a phone. I might be thinking of now that I'm remembering this, like X band or something like that. It was used to let you play games online.
Did you put it on the list?
No, but
Strike it from the record.
Okay. So anyway,
It should be spoken up.
the activator was totally virtual reality, but it didn't work. I mean, in concept, it didn't work at all. I mean, you could potentially they advertise like you stand in the middle of this octagon thing, and you start punching and kicking and uppercutting, and your character totally would do that in the game.
What does it really? Does it work?
Was it
All it really did.
Motion? Like,
Yeah.
how did it register?
All it really did was like I mean I'm just doing this off my memory, but the different parts of the octagon had motion sensors, and so like if you would punch in that direction, it would be like pressing a button.
It's more rudimentary than it looks.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah.
still impressive in theory.
Do you guys know that game Paradise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it's kind of like that sort of a thing.
Yeah,
where
but that
there's
Para
sensors.
Paradise actually recognizes warrior
Yeah,
action.
exactly. Yeah, it works.
Yeah.
You know.
The Genesis had a couple others too. The Menacer, you guys remember the Menacer at all?
No.
Menacer was their light gun. It was their answer to the Super Scope 6.
Did not remember that one.
So, do you remember the Super Scope 6?
Oh yeah.
I
course.
remember it. I didn't think I had one though.
Okay, so the Super Scope 6 was gigantic, and the definition of cumbersome was a fucking bazooka.
Yeah.
The Menacer was like it was like half the size. It was held in your hand, but it had two eye scopes, so you can look through like left or right. They were because
Not at the same time. Not simultaneously.
You can do it at the same time, but you look
You
really
look like
stupid.
the dumbest sniper ever. Like I got it in my sight. You look like Bottles the Mole.
Yeah, but the Menacer never caught on. Super Scope 6 never caught on either, despite both those guns actually working pretty well. But if you think about it, the NES Zapper worked pretty well, and the NES Zapper didn't need any extra
Bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit with it. The Super Scope 6 and the Menacer had like an extra piece that you had to put next to your TV to like read it or whatever, like kind of like the Wii sensor bar.
Have hella battery packs or something in it?
What, the Super Scope 6?
Yeah.
Super Scope 6 used, I think, like it's 4 or 6 AA batteries. Yeah, it was a
The
lot.
Zapper was just.
And how much
Look
did
at
it
that.
cost?
Both of them were probably pretty expensive. I think they were under $100, but I want to say they were like $60 or $80. I don't remember the price point.
That's a
for them.
trip to think about back in the day. Like some of these
I
things
know.
that you have, they're just so
Yeah.
it's 30 cents, but back in the day it was close to $100.
Yeah.
Or like
So
games
were
themselves
games,
were
like Super
my
Nintendo games.
God.
Looking at how much they were, it's like really?
Yeah.
Super
People-
Metroid went for like $90.
Yeah.
At one point.
People talk about that, like the cost of games. They think it keeps going up. It keeps going up. But if you were around in the 16-bit era,
Right.
like Irene's saying, I remember buying Final Fantasy 3 from like Sears, and it was like $85.
Wow.
Like brand new.
I bought it cheap, but it was
$47.
used from a friend.
Yeah.
$65 bone.
$65 hairs.
Yes.
So out of that old era, there were
That's
some
a cool guy. I have to put that in the intro now. Because otherwise our bones talk makes no sense, and we've referenced it 5 times.
I thought you already were.
I don't know.
You're like, this guy's gonna hate me. I hope he doesn't listen to
The
this.
fix it and post is just that. It's a big old question mark, baby. I have no idea.
It's a Riddler trophy.
It's a Riddler trophy.
So, leaving the Genesis and the Super Nintendo, the Handy Boy. Aaron had one of these. Can you describe this, Aaron, please? It was a monstrosity.
Okay.
Please keep it clean.
No,
Think
filthy.
of the Game Boy as a person, and that person is Ellen Ripley in a power loader
I like
about to
this.
fight the Queen Alien.
I like this.
Which I guess is 32X. But it's like a whole rig that fits over the face of the Game Boy, plugs in where a lot of time they leave space for you to still put a game in, but there was a magnifying glass larger than the screen, just suspended by like plastic arms.
That part's hella fun.
They had little
The-
folding
the
out
little- it's
like
like a reading
ears to the sides of speakers, so your Game Boy could get louder and not just come out of a little like corner.
What's the
They bounced one. Okay, I'm
What's
sorry.
the rest of the Handy Boy?
It also had a light on it, which was my favorite part, though it made it require batteries or
Separate batteries for the
separate
Handy
batteries
Boy.
for the Handy Boy itself. It weighed a
Dang.
lot in my child hands. I would often like lean it against things while I was playing. The light
Why
was
you have such strong wrists right now?
Whoa.
That's why.
That's
Yes.
totally.
I inherited those
That
from my young self.
from the Handy Boy.
Handy Boy. You said keep it clean.
It's all a metaphor.
Nudge, nudge, audience.
The light was my favorite part because early Game Boy did not have any backlighting, and if you were in the dark, you could not see anything.
If you were in even a slight shade, you
Right.
couldn't see anything on the Game Boy.
Much less if you were in a freaking store with your mother where she picks out clothes and you're just like, this is...
Twisting it to every angle you can to get the Macy's like stupid overhead to illuminate your Mario.
incandescent light.
Yeah, that thing was a monstrosity.
It was
But
huge.
Most people had it because it was every accessory in one.
It was so ridiculous.
Oh, and
though.
the
Ellen
joystick.
Ripley
The
rig
joystick.
is pretty-
joystick
That
fit over the
power loader analogy is perfect.
It
It's
is.
like putting your Game Boy in a power loader, but less effective.
Those buttons
true,
were also
'cause it
stupid
made it
too.
weaker.
From, like it did like the joystick, but the buttons were weird because they weren't like buttons.
No.
They were like
They like went into each other almost. I
they
think.
did. There was a niche
Yeah.
that they met at, and then the rest of them were like a little peg that sat up.
weird.
It was like it wasn't thumb shaped. It wasn't button shaped. It was almost rectangular, but it was roundish.
It was round on
Rounded
the
brick-
ends, and
Oh, God.
yeah, it was totally unnecessary. But
Take it
so
away.
even newer, there's been newer stuff too. So Samba de Amigo maracas, remember those?
Yes.
How about the Resident Evil Saw controller? Remember that?
I mentioned, but I can't picture it in my head.
It was yellow and bloody, and a GameCube controller built into it.
Oh.
And it didn't do anything except look like a saw.
Oh,
But it
sure.
was giant.
Made you feel cool. What about Donkey Kong bongos?
Donkey Kong bongos for
Taiko
sure.
Drum Master.
Taiko Drum Master.
I actually like
them
that
up.
one.
This early DJ Hero.
DJ Heroes.
They
another,
were like
another one
giving
that's in
those
there.
free with purchase practically.
At the end of its
yeah,
yeah.
they're like, just please
Here's
get out,
the-
get it out of our stores.
free with purchase.
I have DJ Hero 1 and 2.
DJ Hero was a fun game.
It's a good game.
But nobody wanted it.
Nobody wanted it
I got it on clearance.
on
Because nobody
special.
wanted it on special.
The Steel Battalion controller. Did anybody
That's
play
so
that?
much.
I-
Yes.
I played the shit out
At
of
somebody
it.
else's house. I never bought
Yeah,
it, but
once.
it was cool.
That was when I was working at Game Crazy 2, and we were allowed to check stuff out. And
That was a damn good idea.
Yeah.
To put a console in front of you as
That's cool.
as the game, like you're just
I
doing
actually
things, so you're
really
like,
liked it.
Wasn't it like $200?
It was,
though,
yeah,
for
it's
the
totally
controller?
like $200.
oh, it was hella expensive, but it was
And it worked
it
with
was
one
like
game.
Well,
immersion.
yeah,
Like-
yeah. I know.
It was
Bells and whistles and buttons and joysticks and stuff made you feel like a robot jock.
Oh, totally. A robot
Dang.
jock.
Robot
If-
jocks.
One robot jock.
Dump some robot nerds books. But if you died, if your ship, your
When
mech
robots
was
dump
blown
books,
up
they
in that
go to
game
the
and
center
you
of
did
the
not
earth.
eject,
Yeah.
you died.
Yeah.
They deleted your
Permadeath.
save, didn't they?
Yeah, it's
They're
permadeath.
like, no, you need to eject, or
You
else
died. You should
Straight
have died.
XCOM death. Like,
Well, you could eject, but the problem with the eject button is that it was covered by a plastic like case, and that's I guess that's how it would be in real in a
no.
real life giant
Goose.
mech. But yeah,
sometimes you try to eject.
no,
and
you try to
break your
eject, and
damn
by the
neck.
time you get the fucking plastic thing up, you're already blown up. So I took that plastic thing off.
Yeah, you should.
Rob the Robot was a great addition.
Sorry, I
didn't see that one on there, but Rob
the
was an
Robot.
awesome.
It was a great addition to Smash
Was he?
Brothers.
It was totally like unnecessary, and it worked.
yeah.
But when you saw it as like a 6-year-old kid, and somebody's playing like Gyromite with it, and it's moving around and you're like, oh my god, we are in the future.
It makes you question whether or not it's cooler than R2-D2, and then you remember that it's not.
Yeah, you remember that. Wait, it's 5 minutes after you watch it, you're like, this has no bearing on anything.
I was as a kid, I played Gyromite, and I had no idea what Rob was for the longest time, and I'm like, how does this game work? This doesn't make any sense. And I'm just screwing around. I find out that the second player controller does something. I have no idea how I had the patience or the sight to figure something like that out. I was at someone else's house, but they didn't know the game either. We figure out second player controllers are like, should we co-op this? But they don't feel like playing, so I'm sitting with 2 controllers in front of myself, like letting myself into doors and crushing little like bubble animals.
That's cool.
Bub's Dragons.
Playing as Dr. Einstein.
Dreinstein?
Einstein Wiley.
Did you? Sorry.
Sorry.
Did you guys play other music games?
You guys are so
besides-
Canadian. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
I'm just polite because I'm Asian.
Yeah.
You're breaking the fourth wall. Nobody knows you're Asian.
Now they do.
Irene's Asian,
Here
you
comes
guys.
all the new fan mail. I'm just kidding.
Whoa! Asian castmates.
2 of them. Wow. Statistically,
Me?
that's an anomaly.
Is it me?
I'm half Asian,
Oh.
so we got 1.5.
I guess it's 1.
But you went to
actually,
Japan.
'cause I'm
Are you
half
half
Asian.
too? So we've got
Yeah.
1 full Asian
One
here.
You went to
collective.
Japan. You're an honorary Asian.
I've been to
I
Japan.
went there too.
An honorary
so
Asian.
it's full Asian.
Yeah, man. Now we've got like 1.5.
Like I went to
Okay.
Mexico, so
Now we've got a quarter
Honorarily
Mexican.
I did
Wow.
yard work.
1.5.
I'm honorarily Scottish.
Aren't you also
Done went
actually
Yes.
Scottish?
Actually Scottish.
Yeah.
You look Scottish.
Thank you.
Yeah, your beard.
No, I just
man.
mean like when I picture a Scottish man, I
Person
picture
is-
you, like with a kilt and face Braveheart paint.
Screw Mel Gibson. Scottish people look like Justin. That's the
I
template.
think of Groundskeeper Willie.
Groundskeeper Willie.
You,
Laddie's night.
we can't, no more Simpsons.
No more.
TV.
We do so many.
That was our
Simpsons jokes.
quota.
Yeah,
It's
All right,
Nickelodeon
so-
and Simpsons with us. What is it? Jesse and I used to do
Let's do
Tap
it.
Tap Mania all the time, or was that called Tap Tap Revolution?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like I got insanely good at that game, and I didn't think I could
Were
do
you good at
after level
actual
1.
DDR though? Because
No,
I used to be.
not feet DDR.
Yeah, feet DDR was
PDDR was real popular with one of our
Asians.
old friends,
And Nick Swardson.
Thomas.
I'm
Real
sorry.
quick, he was at Golfland. We used to go there a lot.
Shout out to
They-
Thomas Hamasaki.
When was this? Because I used to go to golf.
We were at
all the
Golfland
time.
all like several times a week. Maybe we ran into each other. We didn't know.
Possibly 2000s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
We had the Sacramentals, which was the DDR group that used. I know.
Dang.
I know. They used to meet up
That's
at
90s.
Golfland. It is that. Yeah. Yeah.
Thomas played so much DDR there, and he was
He
really
broke an
good.
ankle.
No, but
recovered,
he did this
and
one.
still got the high score.
He did this one session where it's like it was an unlimited session that you go until you die. Right?
Oh, yeah,
He
yeah.
played it for like well over an hour.
And then he died.
He didn't die, but we were like, we're leaving, Thomas.
Oh.
Get off of it, right? And so we pulled him from it. And he had been playing for so long that his legs were still like like going up and down as we were pulling him off.
He's jigging out of Golfland.
We
I would
played
pay
Snake on it.
$5 to see his 1 hour sesh, like how well he did, and just like a screen back to him, and then you pulling him off of it. Like I would pay $5 for that.
I would
film.
pay for that too. So wrapping up, bringing it back.
Wrapping it up.
There's been a lot of VR attempts in the past, but Oculus Rift and Project Morpheus, I really feel are going to be. They might actually nail it this time. I'm super excited for that
Are
stuff.
you going to buy one of them? And right now,
I'll-
could you make a judgment call which one you're more interested in?
Well-
if you would invest like $300-400 in one.
I'll tell you, I was more interested in the Oculus Rift, hands down.
I think everybody was. Morpheus isn't getting any playtime.
Well,
Like
Morpheus
FaceTime.
seems, from what I've read, people really like the Project Morpheus, and they say it's comfortable. And they say actually it's that or higher resolution than Oculus Rift right now.
This is like a Daft Punk helmet, right?
It looks cool. Yeah, it looks. I
It's
mean,
not like one of these.
no, it's not like a hulking like underwater goggle thing, but it is still goggles. I mean,
Yeah.
when you break it down, it looks a little sleeker. But it has Sony backing it. Oculus Rift was Kickstarted,
yeah.
up until Facebook bought them, which is why now it's like I don't know. Now I'm reserving judgment on what Facebook's going to do with it, but it definitely brings up some questions about the future of Oculus Rift. But Project Morpheus seems cool. I'd probably buy both of them. Project Morpheus is probably only going to work with the PS4. It's not going to work for PC. Oculus Rift will work for PC.
How long do you think it's going to be till we get a Mad Catz virtual reality?
The day after, and it'll be cheaper.
Oh man,
It's a
repurposed Virtual Boy.
We'll get Project Orpheus, and it'll be Mad Catz, and it'll be half the price.
There's a turbo button when you wiggle your nose.
You get a GameStop branded virtual reality headset.
Because everything starts going fast. Oh my gosh! No, stop!
It's
Stop!
turbo, yeah,
Pause!
turbo.
It'll just pause and unpause the game over and over for slow-mo.
I'm just looking forward to this. I'm usually not on board with a lot of buzzword type stuff
But you'll do both of these.
the VR stuff. I'm all about, man. I want Matrix style jacking in. I don't want controllers. I just want to lay down and do this.
What about jacking out?
I'll jack out all day. Oh yeah.
Jack on?
Jack on, jack in.
Sure.
That's what I'm about.
Jack all around.
Yeah.
Jacking it up!
All right.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, so
We gotta stop all this madness.
Our next feature of the show.
Topping at 3. What?
we're going to do top 3 video game returns. When a character comes back, when you go back to a place, when that kind of junk.
Any kind of return.
I think just a notable return. It's just like, oh, hey, I left Midgar and then I came back to Midgar. Like,
that
that's
was
a
like
little...
the go-to, I thought. And I'm like, I hope that's not on someone's list because I'm not doing it.
Nah.
I don't want to go there.
It's just, that's a little
It
too...
was
I don't
important,
know,
but
you know, just notable ones.
Fuck that slum. I got out of there for a reason.
Right? And then you went back for a reason.
Yeah.
They keep pulling you back in.
He pulled me back in.
Maybe Chris
Mine's-
can go first.
You want me to go first?
I think you should go
Chris
first.
is the
Yeah.
one who returned.
What are your
All right.
top 3 returns coming back from Japan?
I'll start
and
with
if you
my-
say you to America, you're cheating.
Me to America.
Guess what you are, Chris?
What?
On the spot.
That's all right. I have my top 3. So I'll tell you, right off the top of my head, my not my. So I'll start, on the worst. Well, the bottom, the third.
The one that's
choice.
not as important to you.
The third choice for me was the new Strider, because I love Strider,
Sure.
and the new Strider was awesome.
Really? So you've continued to enjoy it?
Yeah.
It's held your attention?
It
and
totally
it's been
did.
great?
It actually got better the more I played it, and I really like what they did with it. It's not perfect. There's definitely some complaints. I hate the music.
Oh.
Some of the animations kind of piss me off. So like,
Is it
with
just
Strider,
somebody who's singing Strider?
No, it's just,
Strider!
that would have
in
been
the
cool.
back. Oh.
But it's not.
robot dog now.
I just thought the music was very
great.
forgettable. They went more for like ambiance rather than actual like theme music. And I
Silent Hill instead of
stuff like
Strider.
that. I mean, there's not a whole lot of actual
Music while you flip around.
You're just sneaking through the streets of Japan. Boom.
What was your number 3?
So it was just ended up being a really good game.
Drop us a number 2.
Number 2, Street Fighter 4, and not necessarily for it being. What are you guys laughing?
Drop us a number 2.
We're all children.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Ripping grumpies.
I didn't ripping a grumpy. I didn't even get that. No,
I only got it because she was laughing. I'm like, why did she?
Is that why you were
A
laughing?
little bit.
Street Fighter 4 wasn't the game that I wanted at first, and I'm not. It's number 2, not so much for me enjoying that game in particular, but for kind of rebooting fighting games in general. Because when Street Fighter 4 came out, it re-sparked some of the old fighting game just spirit in the communities and
Interesting.
so-
Was it in danger? Was it dying?
Oh yeah,
for-
like fighting games.
Oh,
There was a huge drought in fighting games from like Street Fighter 3, Third Strike, and Capcom vs SNK 2. Like after that, there's like barely any input from Capcom or SNK. I mean, SNK was still making King of Fighters, but it was never caught on here. King of Fighters is my shit, but never really caught on. So you still had games like Guilty Gear, you still had Blaze Blue, but like Street Fighter 4 really just it was like
redefine, make a give
really
it an image.
invigorated. It's like a new renaissance of fighting games because since Street Fighter 4 has come out, we've had an influx of really great fighting games, and
Man.
the community has really picked up. Fighting game tournaments have picked up. Street Fighter 4 has been a really important part of the fighting game community. I'm growing. Like that game's really grown. I mean, at first I didn't like it at all. I had a lot of complaints, but nowadays I really enjoy Street Fighter 4 and I play it a lot. Number one is Mega Man 9.
9.
Yes, and I'll tell you why.
Tell me why.
Because Mega Man 9 was the first actual Mega Man numbered game in over a decade. Because the last one was Mega Man 8 and Mega Man and Base. And those were out in like the late 90s. Mega Man 9 came out in 2008 and they like literally took they went into my brain and said, Chris, what do you want? I said, I want Mega Man 9, fucking 8-bit, with amazing graphics and amazing music and 8-bit graphics, and like they totally did exactly what I want. So this trailer came out from Mega Man 9, and
You gotta
like
love when that happens.
Oh, it's perfect.
Yeah.
It came out in 2008. early, and I saw the video. I did not believe it. I was like, somebody is fucking with me, because it literally was like the game of my dreams. Like, I wanted, the only thing they could do more now is Mega Man X9 in 16-bit. So Mega Man 9 in 8-bit was amazing. The music was great. The game was great. They even made a Mega Man 10. The same developers, Intercreates, made it. Intercreates is the people that make the Mega Man Zero games, and actually they're the ones that are working on Mighty Number 9. I'm super happy about that, though. Like, there's a new video out for Mighty Number 9, and it looks super good. It looks so great. But that's it, man. Those are my top 3.
I like those. Golf clap.
Golf clap.
I like those. That was a good top 3. He just finished his top 3.
Just go clockwise.
Okay, I will do mine then. Mine was Ivalice. The return of Ivalice in games that was after Tactics.
Was there a specific game that
12.
12?
Yeah.
Dude, that's a good one.
And it was in, like, it was just like, and this one's so, because I wasn't that amped for 12. I had 8, which I wasn't a huge fan of after 7. 9 was really good. I liked it a lot. Then they just dropped everything. I was like, 10, 10-2, all this just different garbage, in my opinion. I didn't like them very much at all. And then they released this, well, they did the online, 11.
Yeah.
Then they bring 12 out, and they're just like, okay, bunny lady, all this, it was really odd looking. Yeah. But just the first reaction to it was like, like they're doing stuff I don't like, and they're like, and it's a return to Ivalice. I was just like, what? So I started research. I was going into it a little bit, and I played it, and I think it just clicked my mind over to like, you know what? I will forgive this game for some things that I don't like, and I will start to look for. What are you doing?
Sorry, I was hoping that wouldn't be loud.
It's fine. I'm just talking about Ivalice over here. Anyways. Oh shoot. I don't know which to do about this. Which I was more excited about. I will... Okay. For humor's sake, I will say my number 2 was... And this is news to you. Okay. The glorious return of a game that I just beat. That you're going to be excited about.
Okay.
I beat Link Between Worlds.
Nice.
No. Okay. Sorry.
Yes.
That was on my list too.
Oh no!
That's okay.
Yes.
I had 4.
Hyrule was great.
Kind of
Yes.
have 4.
Yeah. Now I have 3.
Hyrule was completely perfect. I want to say that it felt...
Hear you 3 before.
I want everybody's opinions on this. Did Hyrule feel smaller to you on the 3DS?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it smaller, in
I
fact?
don't-
Like,
I
per
don't know.
screen or whatever? Because
You know what?
Kakariko felt right.
I'll tell you what I think.
The swamp felt smaller.
It was that was my biggest complaint about the game is to me, I think a factor in that is not necessarily that it was a smaller Hyrule as far as like square footage, but
Right.
I can't say if it is or isn't. But the item system of you being able to get everything from the get-go
Right.
makes it feel smaller to me. That's because you are able then to go anywhere you want at any time.
Right.
Because in the original, you would only be able to explore a certain part of it, and then gradually, as you got new items, Hyrule would open up more to you, and then you'd feel like, now I've got more to explore, now I've got a little bit more to explore, and now I've got a little bit more. So to me, it felt more of a sense of progression and a sense of Hyrule expanding as you were able to move deeper into it with more items. Because I did not like the actual item thing, personally.
Sorry.
For me, that was...
Most
They
people
got
like
around
it.
that for me, because like, I could get the items and stuff, you could just get a hammer, and then all of a sudden you can get into hammer places, but they didn't use the hammer that much.
No, you never have to use it.
Biggest hurdle, you never have to use it. Or the boomerang. You never
Boomerang,
do
you have to use the hammer. I think you have to use the hammer a couple times, but the boomerang you
to
never,
get into,
you
to
never
get
have
into
to
one
use
of
the
the
boomerang.
palaces. But
Boomerang's
that's like
completely skippable.
Boomerang
Yes.
is always one of my favorite items.
Me too.
Really?
All of
Yeah.
the-
What did you use it for?
Everything.
Use it
Like,
as your
I threw it
everyday
at
attacking.
everything.
Yeah.
I was like,
Okay, so your boomerang is my hook shot. I don't stop using the hook
Well,
shot
you
ever.
see, the thing is you don't get in the original Link to the Past. You don't get the hook shot until much late. You get
Right.
the boomerang right
Until the
in
water
beginning.
temple.
And you can
Yeah.
control the boomerang, right? Like you can move it to go over.
Can you really?
No.
I thought it was
not
just you
Link to
huck
the
it
Past.
and then you move so that
Not
it
in
would
the
move with
original,
you.
but in Link Between Worlds, you can throw it and then direct it.
If you
right?
could, I didn't do that.
Yeah, if you could, I didn't figure out
I
the way.
never did that, but my husband told me.
Oh, my
that when
goodness.
He played. So I
So-
think that's the benefit to the boomerang.
So
over
it
the
looks
hook
like
shot.
I need to play it again.
I
So-
think you're right.
does his uncle work at Nintendo and told him all the cheat codes and how to get Zelda as a playable character?
wish.
And
Zelda as a playable character. Play as a modeling. No, yeah, so that was... Landmarks were the same. Turtle Rock wasn't the same, but I mean, just there were visual cues that were just like, from Hyrule, from the Hyrule of old. And I was all excited about it.
Yeah.
The
I
mountain range was very similar.
If you
That
look
was
at the
great.
overview map, it looks like it's about the same size as the original Link to the Past
It does.
map. I mean, even though there are places that are completely different, like it looks like it takes up the same space.
Right. I think the biggest thing that I had with it was maybe it was the upper right hand region. I just didn't go to that often, but the desert down there it felt like 4 squares, and that was it.
Yeah, it did feel a little
Like
small.
it's just some of those parts where it felt like they were off ratio. Like I had to go through so much more on the SNES side,
Hyrule
but
is a
still they
very
did it
lush-
beautifully.
Very lush landscape. There's not a lot of room for deserts.
They're trying to weed out the stuff they don't like.
Yeah, sure.
I also kind of feel like there was more done outside of the dungeons in Link to the Past, but that didn't feel like it was necessarily the case in Link
Right.
to the
I would agree
Worlds.
with that.
Yeah,
The,
so maybe
the
that's
biggest
why
thing was like the little treasure hunters things, and that was almost it. Like,
That was-
oh, and the Mai-Mais.
The Mai-Mais is what I was going to point out. The Mai-Mais is another thing in the game that you can completely skip. It's never
But I
like
didn't.
brought
Oh, the
back to you.
octopus
I got like
things?
85 of those
I never
things.
did that.
Oh,
I didn't even know
man.
it existed.
Exactly. I didn't know it existed until like I was one dungeon away from beating the game, and I stumbled upon that cave, and I'm like, collect this shit. And I read online that
There's one
something-
right next to the cave when she says, "Find my babies." And
I
it's
know.
right
but-
there.
But you don't initiate that. They don't. The Mai-Mais don't pop up until you initiate the quest. Or
Correct.
whatever.
Oh, so you didn't go down to Lake
I never
Hylia and
talked
pop
to the-
open the thing
right.
until like you were ready to.
Yeah.
Did
and
you-
so
Interesting.
that's the type of stuff that happens when you have a game that's super non-linear like that. Is that stuff doesn't trigger like.
I think I like that about it.
Another thing you don't get, or you don't have to get, is the Pegasus boots.
True.
I never got it because
Yeah,
I didn't
exactly.
know I was supposed to sneak up on that guy.
Exactly.
Spoilers. Did you guys do I guess it's the tournament or the Coliseum or whatever in the upper right part of it's on the mountain? No?
No.
Blank stairs? Okay.
No.
Yeah, so it's just a tournament. It's kind of like the Coliseum in Final Fantasy VI. You just
Interesting.
fight people.
And Legend of Zelda.
In Link Between Worlds.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I thought there was
yeah.
enough of that with the little signpost in Kakariko. It was just like fight Shadow Links, and
No,
Wait, say that again?
It's a total...
Kakariko Village.
Kakariko Village. How do you say it?
Do you say Kakariko?
Yeah, I say Kakariko.
Kakariko. I said Kakariko.
That's okay. I know plenty of white
I
people
like
that
it
do
though.
that.
I like your pronunciation.
Do you Kakariko?
Yeah.
This is the shortest pronunciation war we're ever gonna have. My thing was that I didn't get through most of the game and stuff because I didn't get the Titan's Mitt until like hella late. That was like one of my last dungeons, like second from the end. So I went through most of that game. It's just like Boulder, okay, and then went somewhere else. I couldn't do it. I
Yeah.
couldn't get like
Literally, you had to.
I
go
had
alone.
to do something else until I found that in a dungeon, which was the Sand Temple, which I should have gone here first, and I think I actually gained myself some gameplay with that.
Yeah.
I wandered around, found more Mai-Mais and stuff like that before ever getting. I was like, "Oh, this is where it is." Then I went and did the boulders and stuff. So I added some experience to the game.
Cool.
When I play through a second time, I'm going to the Sand Temple like first.
So since we're talking about Link Between Worlds anyway, what did you think of the last boss? Like the last fight, I mean.
It was.
Are we doing spoil? Don't we have to announce spoilers?
Oh,
or
is it
anything?
spoiler?
Should we
Yeah, I
spoil?
guess it's... Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say I loved it.
Did you?
I'm not going to say...
I thought it was cool, and I thought it utilized the cliche, the little niche of the game, the thing that like, hey, guess what? This is new. It utilized that really well.
I really liked it
so.
too, but the only complaint that I have with it is my second biggest complaint about that game, and that's the difficulty. I thought that game was
Yeah.
I thought that game
And you
was
can't set it to hard,
incredibly easy, like to a fault. Like you would get to a dungeon
Yeah.
and you have to use an item to get into the dungeon, but you're like, what item do I use? Oh wait, there's a fucking picture right next with the wind
Yeah,
thing. Like you
that's
don't at least
true.
let me figure out what fucking
Right.
item I'm supposed to use to get in here. It's so like dumbed down as far as difficulty that was one complaint I had with it.
Welcome to Hookshot Temple. Only
Yeah,
hookshots allowed. Hookshot allowed.
And it basically is too. You walk up and it has these two pillars with the
picture
picture
of the
of
item
the
you
same
need.
facing
Yeah.
hookshot, and you're just like, goodness, it's Hookshot Temple. You
It's-
walk inside, it's like,
Goodness.
how do I open
Everything
this
uses
place?
the
And it's got
hookshot.
this little thing where it's like, well, there's a switch over there, and I'm on the other side of the water.
Well, to be fair, in the older games, you kind of knew that you were immediately going to use the item that you just got from the dungeon you just beat. So,
That's
I
true.
mean, I'm just saving a step since you don't actually you get all of your weapons right off the bat.
I think it feels like a slap in the face, though. They're
Well,
giving you a
yeah,
picture
okay,
of what it
I
is on something like,
understand.
I know what
Yeah.
this temple
Both
is, game.
sides,
Like, I
yeah.
just got the hookshot. How
I got to
dare
be
you.
clear too that I'm citing these complaints, but I really love that game.
You gave this game an 11,
I thought the game
clearly.
was amazing,
Yeah,
but
I loved it
I just
too.
had a couple
man.
complaints. That's all.
Sure. It did
Difficulty
kind
and
of
the
feel
items.
a boss for like a 3rd or 4th level dungeon.
Yeah, it was the
awesome.
last boss was super easy. Like I don't even think I died in that game ever.
I didn't. I had like 20,000 rupees or something like that and 0 defeats at the end of the game. So it was easy. I had a couple close calls, mind you, but
Mind you. So.
mind me. But mark my words, mark me now. I had a couple of close calls.
I think I just liked that it was a return to like the algorithm based like combat. You know, there was kind of a way that you had a specific way to beat the boss. Anyway, so sorry.
Their little music thing like washed over you. Some from the 64 era, some from the SNES. It was great. That was a whole return that I loved.
It was phenomenal. I love the music.
Oh, I loved it too.
Oh my
sorry.
gosh.
Yeah, number one. For that. Wait, was that your number one?
My number one is a wild card pick.
Okay.
What?
So
Madden 2014.
you ever played Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Did you love it?
I did back in the day.
Did you play Pro Skater 3?
I played all Tony Hawks up until like Project 8.
Oh, you made it further than I did. I played the first American Wasteland Underground, Project Underground or something like that. Thug 1.
Underground.
Played it. I thought it was garbage.
Yeah.
Gutter trash. Put it down forever, and I didn't play another Tony Hawk. I was going to say until Skate. I didn't play another Tony Hawk. I played Skate. Yeah.
I like Skate actually.
And then I played every Skate, and I love those.
Yeah.
What was missing in Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3?
A full motion controlled board from Tony Hawk Ride. Is that what you're talking about?
Wrong, sir. Wrong, sir. It was Lord Rodney Mullen,
Okay, sure.
and he made a glorious return in 4.
Rodney Mullen. That's
Oh my God,
that's
he was
number
back.
1.
Yes.
I never picked Rodney Mullen.
What?
I always picked
The Godfather of skating? You never picked Rodney Mullen, even when he was mandatory?
I think I picked like.
Oh my gosh.
There was an Asian guy like Eric Costa.
Eric Costa, yeah.
Yeah.
Or Costin.
Costa, something like that. I always liked that guy.
Mark DeCoscus. Eric DeCoskin. He knows capoeira. Capoeira is on the board all the time.
Dude, best trick ever.
Yeah.
Flaring on the
Capoeira dark slide.
Yeah.
You know.
So Rodney Mullen is your number one
That's
comeback.
my number one. I was so like it seems like such a baby thing, but I was so happy.
Nobody
You
ever is.
returned. I was like, ah! And I played the shit out of it from morning till night for like 2 years.
Are you still a huge
Wow.
Rodney Mullen fan?
Yes,
What's
I
he-
love Rodney
is
Mullen.
he skateboarding still?
He's pretty old. I don't know if he's still skateboarding, but man, that guy invented a skateboarding. That guy invented so much skateboarding. As we know it today. You know, there was stuff back in the day where it's like, oh, grabs or something like that. He invented flipping and
Cool.
like pogos. That guy was just an innovator. I like watching it. It's a pleasure to watch him skate.
Nice.
He is poetry on a
Revelation.
skateboard. It's a revelation.
I like it.
I just, moving left.
Did you want?
I was thinking
We spent way too much time on high
She
roll.
said she had 4, now 3, and
Yeah,
I
no.
had the same
I
kind
should
of
have
issue
assumed
just in
too,
case
because
she
you
picks
have the
one of mine.
Hyrulean.
I do.
I
It
should have
was
guessed that would be on your.
accidental, but yeah. Anyway.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. No, I'm glad that you did because that narrowed it down to 3 for me. So
go.
I did mine like really differently from you guys, but that's okay.
It is cool. That's the beauty of open interpretation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So my number 4, which is now my number 3, is the time in Chrono Trigger when you return back to 1000 AD after you leave Robo in 400 or in 600 AD.
Yes.
Um,
Why?
And then you come back because you find the forest and it's really awesome. Why are you laughing?
I'm not laughing at you. It was just
I'm just laughing with you because it was a
because it was
hilarious
because
time.
it was a jovial time and
It was. No, I know that's not. I don't know. That was technically a return.
that was a technically return. So that that stood out in your mind though. That was like such a great.
Yeah, I just thought it was really awesome that they're like, "Hey, Robo, just hang out here for a while after we clear out the desert and help Fiona." And came back and there's a forest and he's there, like all broken, not broken down, but like.
I will
not
agree
working.
with you.
I would agree with
Poignant.
me too.
Poignant. He's
Very,
just so like,
yeah.
you're like Robo. Why
Yeah.
did we leave you?
It
You
was
did
just
so
nice
much
'cause,
good.
You know, you go back to 600 AD and you'd see him like plowing or whatever the fields, and then you come back and then you see the forest, and it's like, oh, that's awesome.
Don't
So
cry,
anyway,
you'll rust.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that was my number 4/3.
I like it.
Yeah. So my number 3/2 was
I like this list. I
so
like this is going.
you guys know who Akira Yamaoka is, I assume. He did the music for Silent Hill. Well,
Oh.
he's one of the producers
Okay.
for Silent Hill.
I didn't know his
We were
name.
talking about that.
Yeah. So he
Yeah.
left Konami in December of 2009, and I was like super cry-faced because I love Akira Yamaoka. But I was super happy when he returned for Grasshopper Manufacture because he did the music for Shadows of the Dam. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
so
Christmas,
that's...
we-
So you were all cry faced
Probably.
that he came back.
No, well, Tears of Joy.
Right.
That he came back, yeah. Because I
Good
thought
cry
he was
face.
leaving. Yeah, I thought he was leaving, like, the gaming world forever, but...
But he came back and you're like,
Yes, yeah. So, I mean, it was just 2 months between the time he left Konami and then the time he joined.
you share the same love for him that I do for Rodney Mullen.
Yeah, more.
Like, you've done
Possibly.
so much. Why don't you come back to... And then they do come back and you're just like, it's
Yeah.
too good.
Yeah, I do too. I met him.
Really?
Yeah,
I
he
love
signed
Akira
a
Yamaoka.
shirt.
Akira
with me.
Yamaoka?
Oh, he's,
You met him?
I met him.
Neat.
Oh, he's so nice. He's so cool.
I've only met one music guy. Well, met is a loose term.
Yeah, I mean,
Was it
we
John
went
Williams?
I
having
stood next
drinks
to him.
together.
I stood next to him at E3. Like
Smelled his
2000
hair.
Like 2000. It was the year Final Fantasy 12 came out. It was because I played Final Fantasy 12 at E3. It was like an early build. And no, it was Nobuo Uematsu.
Oh,
He
man.
was at the Square Enix booth. He was walking around, and like he was playing something. I stood right next to him and just like watched him play.
That's. I'm sure everybody else
I
is
totally
doing that
met
too.
him.
This is going to sound a
Totally
little
met him.
blasphemous, but over Nobuo Uematsu. His...
What?
Over Nobuo Uematsu. I would want to meet Yoko Shimomura.
Oh, I'd love Yoko Shimomura.
That's...
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Over
guess
me, like I would want to meet Nobuo Uematsu because it's like, oh man,
he
you
signed
were
my
responsible for a
baby doll.
lot. But
You
Yoko,
were
Responsible
Yeah.
for a lot.
for a lot of things. But I
It's
think
either
she's
dear friends or more friends. They had a
dear
meeting.
friends, wasn't it?
Well, they had both, but I met him at one of them,
Oh,
and he signed my little baby doll.
I didn't know there was a more.
Anyway.
One. Anyways.
Anyway. Yeah. So my 2/1
I love that.
was when the baby Metroid comes back at the end of Super Metroid
Yeah.
and
Oh,
saves Samus.
That's
So-
Mommy!
Yeah.
I'm not your mother.
Exactly. Yeah. So that was my short.
My life.
list.
I like
That's a
it.
good one.
Yeah.
I like
Thank
a
you.
one.
Thanks.
I picked the game. I should have picked moments like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I
Yeah,
thought
you-
I did it wrong because I was like,
No, yours were very like
cry
like
face.
poignant
Very
moments.
sentimental.
Oh. No, I feel as though I've done mine wrong as well.
Yeah. Did you have stuff like that?
Did
too?
you?
Kinda.
Did you make a wrong list
I
too?
kind of had a one of each thing like that: a return to a place, return of a character, and a return like
That's smart.
of a game
That is.
thing. But there was still a maybe in there, and one of them was from Super Metroid, going back to Zibbies.
Oh yeah.
And I'm
yeah.
like, oh yeah, I played that game. I remember that. Zibbies.
Seeps. I don't know.
Whatever.
I don't-
Zebes.
I don't know. I didn't-
Debase myself before Metroid.
I was convinced
was-
you were going to do an item.
An item.
Like, oh, the return of this thing, and I was like, oh, neat. But it seems like your style.
oh,
I don't know.
neat.
Oh, neat.
I
They
had
brought
trouble
it back.
coming up with these things because, like, if somebody mentions one of these things, I flip my shit. I'm like, oh yeah, I love that. But when I try to just like sit down and be like, what did I like?
Yeah, it's hard.
It's a lot of things. I like a
The
lot
listeners
of things.
don't understand how difficult this is.
You guys don't even know.
Don't even know.
You don't even. Down.
You don't even know me.
I think you should do all 4 of yours.
Well, that was it. Go
Well,
back
that
to-
was- yeah.
that was one of them. I'm
Yeah.
not sure where I was going to put it in the list. Mm-hmm. But I've got my other 3.
Okay.
And I'll put them in
Just say it, baby.
order.
Say it.
Number 3, Duke Nukem 3D. As
Neat.
you guys know, I play shooters a
Yes.
lot.
Yeah.
And I played a lot as a kid.
Is that your favorite shooter?
No.
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 How dare you?
Yeah.
No. I have
But
to ask.
that, like, go when Duke 1 and 2, which were side scrollers, were kicking around, and then they're like, let's make a third Duke Nukem. Let's make it so intense. It is in the third dimension. It was on the build engine, and like there was so much crap in there that made me just lose my shit. Because as a child, I'm like, you could swear, you could show most of a boob, you could put poop, you
can shake it.
You could put poop.
You can put poop.
There was so much stuff that I was like, what?
I want to see a little Aaron write a letter to the company and be like, excuse me, sir, in the next game, could you put more poop? Because I liked when you put poop. Thank you, Aaron.
and most of the boob.
I'm not a fan of poop.
More poop.
I don't often find it particularly
No.
funny, but the fact that it was in there was, for lack of a better term, in my understanding as a child, gritty.
Pooperific.
No, it wasn't really gritty either,
its
but it was
time.
just like, dang, that is intense. You
They
can't do that on
The
television.
Yeah.
The poop was gritty?
They had strippers and stuff
Yeah.
in Duke Nukem 3D. And it wasn't full
Shake
nudity,
it, baby.
full nudity, but like
They
it
had
was
nipple
close.
tassels and
Yeah.
or tastelessly placed hair and or tentacles.
But when you go back and look at those tassels are just the most shoddy
Well,
looking animation.
When you're 10 years old, that's amazing.
That's-
like there's boobs in
pretty
this
much
game.
porn.
There are
you
straight
do
up.
not want your parent to know you have this game.
Exactly. You want to
You
go in
will
that room.
pause it if they enter the room, just in case you turn the corner and they say, "Hey, who's that?" And you're like, "I don't want to show you."
Oh, what? This is the end game.
Is that
But
how you
that's what that
sounded?
is.
I want to show you.
The little, like, the alien basic dudes had jetpacks. I'm like, oh, look, the basic guy's got a jetpack, and, like, he can die, but not fully die. He's like, no, don't kill me, and he shakes his head, and you just kick him over or shoot him some more. And sometimes they'll get back up if they die on their own. You're like, oh, you cheating bastard, I thought you were dead. That
And you
game
said,
was-
no, don't kill me, that's like surrender, and then you shot me in the ass.
Yeah, it was crazy.
You
The amount of
dick-ass
stuff
alien.
in that game that just, I'm like, you can, like, not even just you can do that, like, taste-wise and violence-wise, but, like, stuff that the game had happen, blow-upable walls, even though they were all pretty much scripted or primed for specific things. Crazy. Number 2 and number 1, I'm not sure where to place. So, I'm going to say, because I have more intensity about one of them, I'll make it number 1. And number 2, Team Fortress 2. After like a decade or some crap from
Right.
Team Fortress, when they made this new game and went completely away from the bizarre pseudo-future military shooter.
It wasn't TFC, was it? Right? That was just Team
That
Fortress.
was Team Fortress Classic is what it
Okay.
ended up being.
That's the one you play at the LAN cafes or the internet. What are they called?
Probably.
Yeah.
But now Team Fortress 2 came out and they went above and beyond what people would have expected, giving every character like a personality. They weren't like, that's the quick guy with a shotgun. He was the scout, and he was
Right.
from Brooklyn, and he like had a backstory and a face and a voice, and he had a lot of quips. And
Bonk being his best
yeah,
quip.
Bonk was probably the pinnacle of quip,
Sure.
but that was crazy.
The onomatopoeia that happens when he hits you, he
It was nuts.
also says.
Yes.
What a jerk.
And number 1, just something that when it happened, I was just looking at my screen with such delight, like, yes, was Metal Gear Solid 4 when Metal Gear Rex comes back, and you get to pilot it and fight Metal Gear Ray. And I was like, oh, I get to show you how much better I am. Fuck you, Ray. Because Ray was dumb. It was a dumb robot.
That game
Dude, you
had
got
a
really
lot of
excited about that.
set pieces. that
Yeah, a
were
lot
awesome.
of comeback
Yeah.
stuff. Like, even just the fight with like, not even just the last fight with Ocelot, Statue of Limitations.
Yeah.
When
Nice.
you keep changing, like, eras.
That's good.
And he's like, you're pretty good. And then you fight Metal Gear, like, Snake Eater, Ocelot, and then it's all over the place, and it's wonderful.
That scene with the split screen where Raiden and Vamp are like doing a fucking martial arts expo.
You have to pay
and-
attention to robots.
Yeah, and then you're over like she like that split screen like scene blew my mind. I died on that part several times because I was just watching,
You're watching,
the
you're
fight.
doing-
Yeah, and,
I didn't, and it killed me. I'm like, I want to look away. I watched it again later when a friend was doing it. That fight's kind of gay.
Really,
Like, it's
Aw.
cool,
Like-
but the amount of, like, men grunting and stabbing each other and white shit's flying out of him, he's pretty much, they're penetrating and white liquid is gooing everywhere because Raiden's blood is cyborg blood,
yeah.
which is white.
Yeah.
We all know that.
Interesting.
If you take it as innuendo, there's plenty of it.
Semen.
Yes.
Spermies.
All over the place.
Okay.
Well,
Jisms.
Yeah.
Is that the end?
yeah, good ones.
That
do-
is the
yeah.
end.
Raiden's
Interesting.
jizz. Raiden's jizz.
We end on
Wraps it
Raiden's
up.
jizz.
Raiden's jizz-filled robot corpse.
We end on Raiden's jizz.
Not
Done.
Trivia round 2.
We are.
Oh, yeah.
Is this
Yeah.
trivia round 2?
Yes.
It's not coming up.
Yeah.
It's here.
It's here. It's
You
arrived.
prepared to
It's
win
here, baby.
further?
It's here, baby.
Trivia round 2.
I'm at negative points, making me the victor.
Making
This is
you
golf
the
rules,
victor.
right?
Victor.
What?
Victor, what did I know?
We taught him N64 knowledge wrong as a joke.
Get it ready.
Crap.
Because
Found you.
I've only got 7 minutes to play with you.
7 minutes.
7 minutes. That's all the time I have to play with you. This one is general game knowledge. General gaming knowledge.
N64
for N64
games?
era gaming.
Okay.
Just general, though, not like specifics.
Okay.
We'll get to specifics.
That's okay.
We'll get to specifics. But general gaming knowledge. Number 1. Straight into this game. What was the first game released on the N64?
Chris, you go.
No. I'm
Whoa.
skeptical. I don't want to lose points.
He said, nah.
Well, there was 2 launch games. There was Super Mario 64 and Pilot Wings.
Nice. There's a bonus to this one.
Okay.
What was the last?
The last game ever released on 64?
Yes.
Oh, man. I don't know the last
The
game.
answer might surprise you.
I don't know the last
Can you
game.
steal bonus? You want like
Yes.
pick? Do you,
Sure,
can.
go for it. You can venture. Is there a
If you want
penalty
to.
for a bonus question? I'll guess. I don't want to guess, though.
What's a penalty for that's scorekeeper business? I
Is
don't
there
know.
a penalty
Is
for the
there
bonus question, scorekeeper?
I'm not going to take away points if you don't get the bonus question wrong.
Okay.
Because he kind of just asked you.
Right.
Okay.
It's just the bonus tack on. Just give a guess. Don't say Madden 25.
I don't know. Batman Beyond.
No.
Do you looking at
It doesn't,
me?
yeah, it doesn't hurt to venture again. I mean, you lose no points. You could be right.
That's a good question.
Force Gemini.
No.
Okay.
No, it's like in the beginning,
it?
middle of the system. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3.
Oh shit! That's the last game ever.
Last game on there
Damn.
is what it said.
I should try to find that just for hell.
I second guessed far too much to play this kind of game. Let's go. I'm like,
Number 2.
I was gonna say Mario for the record. 64.
Number 2. You were an overachiever for round 1. It was you could do either or. You did both launch titles, but I mean, whatever.
Both launch titles.
Number 2, I decree it. Which is the best-selling game for the N64? Go.
Aaron.
Ocarina
of Time?
No.
Oh, no.
I'll guess Mario 64.
Yes.
Nice.
I thought it came with it. That doesn't count.
It didn't come with it. It was sold separately. It was just launched with it.
Yes.
Launch,
It was the
right? Because
best
it didn't come
selling.
with games. That's why I
Yeah.
rented a bunch when I. Ow. Back in the day, I was used to my Genesis coming with a Sonic
Yeah.
2.
64 was the first like Nintendo console that didn't come
Like,
with the
deal with it,
pack-in.
nerd.
At least
Actually-
not at launch.
There is... Nobody got it. Or you did. I see you went through the second one. There's a bonus to that one, too.
What's the bonus question?
What are 2 and 3? The second and third best-selling.
I'm going to guess because we're not going to get penalties. I'm going to say one of them's Ocarina of Time.
Nope.
And one of them might be GoldenEye
Yes.
No.
and Perfect Dark.
No.
Okay.
Mario Kart 64.
Oh, Mario Kart. I should have guessed that.
Yeah.
Then GoldenEye, respectively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. Number 3! I decree it. What was the first actual RPG released on the
Aaron.
N64 system?
West 64?
Yeah.
Nice.
It was correct!
Hooray!
That's true.
For some reason, right after I said it, I'm like, no, I should have gone with Ogre Battle. No, it's not going to be Ogre Battle.
Bonus question: was it a good game? Is this gonna-
Yes.
Completely.
No.
Completely.
Yes.
I hate
game was-
Quest 64.
What? You hate it?
Yeah.
You know what?
I'll tell you why I hate
It's
it.
not
real
very
quick.
good, but I wish there were a sequel. I wish they would make that game.
I'll tell you why I hate it real quick. Do I hate that game because I played Final Fantasy VII before I played it?
Ooh.
So
Why would you?
I don't know, but this is what happened. I played Final Fantasy VII, and just as an example, someone does Bolt, right? And it like camera pans around the character. There's like green energy flowing from the ground as he they do this cool build up to the Bolt, right? Exactly. And so then in
Brian from Quest does a couple dust farts.
you
and-
get like rock, and
Right.
you press C up for rock, and he does it. He puts his cane up, a rock just pops in, and then it lands on the ground.
He's a fucking
Fuck is
magician.
that? That's garbage. What kind of presentation is that?
He's a wizard.
He's like, fuck this game. Also, fuck this game because it requires you to have a memory card and it's a goddamn cartridge.
That game was tits.
All right. Anyway, sorry.
Okay. I wish they did that game like New Age. Anyways, question 4. I decree it. This one's a game synopsis. I got a little squirrely.
I like this.
So this is back of the box.
Okay.
This is some back of the box shit. The hero everyone has been waiting for is back again. Jump into his shoes and begin a quest to liberate the 7-star sprites.
Kirby?
No. From the claws of evil
He's not even shoes.
King Bowser.
I should have. Like, right when I saw jump into his shoes, I'm like, Mario's too easy. Mario's way too easy. Stars are everywhere. Mario's too easy. Not gonna be jumping into shoes. It's gotta be something stupid. More points gone. That's what I get for getting one right. Just throwing it away.
It's true. Into the garbage can. Guess?
Well, how many stars?
7-star sprites.
Well, because that's not Mario 64. There are 120 stars in that game.
Correct.
No, I don't know. I'm not going to guess. 'Cause I'm going to get it wrong.
Paper Mario.
I thought it was going to
okay.
be that.
I did not play
Yeah.
Paper Mario, actually.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good one.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
You should go back and play that.
I should.
Oh, man.
I'm never gonna say face.
Question 5, I decree it! You might say face on question 5.
That you getting.
For I decree it. Name one, solely one, of the M-rated titles for 64. Aaron.
GoldenEye.
I think GoldenEye was teen. It's
Really?
not on the list, yeah.
Oh no.
Fuck, I
Somebody
have
double
so
check
many
me that.
I
others.
will guess Resident Evil 2.
Resident Evil 2, yeah, I was on there.
Yes.
I had a thing where I had so many, and I'm like, go for the safe one.
So just as a guess,
should have said Doom 64.
Doom 64.
Doom 64. There was Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Conquer's Bad Fur Day.
That was a big
Perfect
one.
Dark. There's South Park. There are 2 South Park games, I think most.
One of
The
them was a
first one was
racing game.
definitely mature, so
Yeah.
the other one, unless they did like
They probably
cursing,
toned it.
was probably yeah.
And they could have just cursed all down the track. GoldenEye's probably teen.
Duke Nukem. There's a
Probably
bonus,
over there.
there's a bonus question to this.
Okay, what's going on?
What was the first M-rated title to release on the system?
Oh. Turok?
No.
Oh.
Good question, or good guess though, because that was an M-rated title on the system.
I played the hell out of Turok. What's wrong with me?
That's a
I think
bonus
this-
question, though.
I think this was like one of the first 5 games released on the system too. If I'm remembering right.
It's
I don't
not
know.
Doom?
No.
That was my guess.
Doom was early. There's Hexen. That was early.
Ooh, Hexen.
Someone's on it.
I played that
Yeah.
on PC.
You should have.
Played it on PC?
Not even on
Yoshi's
PC.
Island.
So 5 seconds are out. Mortal Kombat Trilogy.
That was that early?
That was heck early
Wow.
on that system.
Yeah, because that. Yeah.
Question 6. The first game to ever feature Waluigi was released on the N64. What was that game?
Chris, I'm going to guess. Just because I've got some points to play with.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Mario Tennis.
Yes!
Nice.
Wow.
That's a. Yeah.
That was his debut in the world of gaming, and he released on Mario Tennis.
Nintendo 64.
On Nintendo 64. Question 7 out of 3. Game synopsis. Again.
Yay. These are fun.
The Holy Lotus Empire. Lotus, L-O-D-I-S. Not Lotus. Just in case you guys were thrown
I
off.
know this one.
The Holy Lotus Empire, rumored to the planning of domination of the entire continent of Zedeginia. Magnus Gallant is assigned to the southern division of the Palatinian army, where he witnesses the plight of the lower class oppressed by the Empire and treated as livestock.
That's an N64 game?
This is an N64 game.
Sounds like a PlayStation game.
I remember.
I think I know this one. I think.
You knew it at Lotus Empire.
I kind of did. Well,
I know.
if it's one
Rings
I'm
a hell of a
thinking
bell, but I'm not going to lose more negative points.
I'll guess and say Jet Force Gemini.
No.
No.
Do
Do
you
I get
stay?
to-
Go for it.
I can't, but
You don't. Okay.
Ogre Battle.
Yes.
Oh, shit. You know what? That's funny you said that.
I'm
Because
like-
when you read the synopsis, I was like, that sounds like a Japanese RPG. And I was like, well, what Japanese RPGs are on that? Fucking none? Except Ogre Battle.
Except Ogre Battle.
But there's a subtitle to it, right?
There
Ogre
is.
Battle 64.
Is that your bonus question?
That's the bonus
Sorry.
question. Does anybody know what the bonus?
I totally
the
just said
subtitle
it
was?
too, but nobody heard it, so that's great.
March of the Black Queen or something like that.
Negative.
That's an earlier
Queen of the
That
Black
is an
Hair.
earlier game.
Yeah.
Like, I said Queen of the Black Hair because I'm
He
joking.
mentioned
And a
part of the
queen
title in his description.
I did.
Yeah.
Humans as livestock.
Negative.
I don't remember.
Person
It's
of
the-
lordly caliber.
Oh,
was
yeah,
that one.
yeah. I never had Ogre Battle 64.
A friend of mine was really excited that it was going to come out, and then I watched him play some. That's
Yeah.
all I got.
I never had that one.
It's like- I'm like, it costs money to put out your good guys? Why have any good guys? It's not trash.
I feel like those got a little harder, and I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
Okay.
It's good.
Yeah. it's
Okay. So that was
Actually
we
got
went
one.
from system knowledge where everybody's like, Chris, I got this. Chris. To these. So if everybody's ready, like
Yeah.
gear up for it a little bit, ratchet in a little bit, because next is specific gaming stuff, so that's a little more taxing
good.
even than that.
If I can answer even one, I'll feel justified.
Yeah, I think you guys will get a couple of these.
A couple.
A couple. But it's not time yet, because what's first on the agenda?
Are we done with trivia?
We're done with trivia. That was
Round 2, I mean?
Well, yeah, that was question 7, and I'm only doing
that's
7
right.
questions. I decree it.
You did mention that.
I decreed it.
Well, how about we talk about the game on tap now?
We should do that.
Oh my.
That
Game
we've
on
been-
Everything's
We
been
don't- Everything is Barry Gibb on the show. All Barry Gibb, all the time. You get in this van, all rush, all the
You can't
time.
fail that way. There's no failing.
No failing.
So, shall we have a discussion about Illusion of Gaia?
We should, I think
Let's.
so.
Yes. I love that game. So,
Tip your hat and cane to Illusion of Gaia.
chapeau to you, Illusion of Gaia.
Let's start out with who here has not played it.
I think we've all
Good.
Oh, dang.
Thank goodness.
This is going to be a
I'd
good
have
discussion.
to punch
then.
someone.
Right?
Yeah. Yay!
Yay!
So
I love Illusion of Gaia.
So do I. I love the whole trilogy. So
Let's talk about mechanics because I was in love when I first saw this game. You're a little kid. You have this little whistle thing that you twist the flute around and it pulls things to you. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's neat.
Like, how do you even do that? Is he
You mean the
telekinetic?
flute? Yeah, he's telekinetic.
I didn't
He's
imagine
telekinetic.
telekinesis as a child. I just imagined he spun it so fast it helicoptered things to him.
I kind of thought that
And
too.
I'm like,
yeah.
what kind of flute
Yeah,
shakes?
because you spin it in your hand and it
You
looks
do.
like it's a twisty thing, right?
Yeah, I would pretend to do that with like broomsticks. I loved that kid. I don't even remember his name. I'm really bad at
Will.
names.
His name is
Will,
Bart.
yeah.
Was Kara the little girl in pink?
Yes, she was the princess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyways,
And
you
there
pull.
was Lily, who
was
was
it
the other
rubies
girl.
or jewels or apples to you? Big
It
red.
was red.
things.
Big
Wait, no,
tiki,
you
like
could
Easter
find
Island
red
heads you'd
gems.
pull around.
Yeah, but
Could
the
do
little.
that too.
Yeah.
And they made that clicking sound when you pulled stuff.
Yes.
That was kind of weird. Yeah.
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 No, you find the red gems, but you could also get other gems. I think they were blue. No.
You turn into a knight.
Yes, Frieden. I think. Is his name.
Frieden. That was Frieden, yeah.
Frieden.
I lost my shit when I was a
Wasn't
kid. I was like,
that
what?
Seriously.
That game was the coolest game I'd ever played when I played it.
Yes.
I was like, this is now the
And then you
coolest
play
game.
Shadow.
And you
And
play
then you're
Shadow.
like, fuck Frieden.
Yeah, because Shadow has like a power aura, and he
Although-
like fucks shit up.
Frieden had telekinetic sword. He
Frieden
like,
was tight
"Whoa,
because Frieden
Crystal
could,
too.
Frieden could like
Dang.
run hella fast, right, and like dash.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then, that's kind of a little janky that they introduced Shadow so late in the game. But
Yeah.
it was still fun.
It was, yeah.
You know.
But it's
Knight.
not. It's not. It works because you're still having a shitload of fun playing as Night Guy.
That's
You
what
know?
threw me was how late Shadow showed up because I was playing the game. I'm like, you turn into a knight. This is awesome. I'm this kid and I'm this knight.
Right.
And then like I stopped playing the game
You
for a
think
while
it's
and
a
I came
duality
back and I
thing.
got back
Yeah.
as far as I was and then suddenly there's this asshole. I'm like, I never imagined
This
they'd give me another person to be
Another asshole.
bonus.
Bonus asshole.
Now I have 3 assholes.
Neato. I'm just a child.
He was OP as hell.
He was. You beat the game's over when you get Shadow.
Right.
Yeah.
Nothing
Pretty
stops
much.
you.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, remember boss rush mode? Do that as Shadow. So you're like, get out of here, big Medusa head or whatever's going on.
Yeah.
I don't care about any of you double vampires.
Am
I give you a what the fuck
misremembering?
ever.
But does Shadow turn into like a liquid state that you can go through cracks?
I
Is
want
that
I wanna say
I
yes,
think
I
he goes
remember-
into a puddle or something. I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah, I remember him doing that.
Like he can go through little cracks in the floor. Okay.
Shadow was hella hacks.
He
He
shot
was super.
phoenixes out of
He's
his
OP.
fucking
Yeah.
flame arm.
Yeah.
They need to patch.
They should make him a boss at the end of Street Fighter.
Do you
Guy's
remember that
impossible.
level where it was like a garden or something, and then you jump on the other side?
Yeah, you like
Oh,
you spin
yeah.
off and
Yes.
it flips up, like you
Yes.
hit the other side. And
You have to
Yeah.
go off a ramp, don't you? Like, don't you? There's a
I
part.
think there were
That was the
parts
Great
that
Wall
you
of China,
did
I
have to
think.
do that.
That is- yeah,
but
those are
you
different
jump off
ones,
the
though.
cliff, but it would just turn the world
And
around.
you could only
Oh,
do that
yeah, yeah,
effectively
yeah, yeah.
as Frieden because he had enough weight on him to like hit the ramp and launch. When
Right,
you're a kid, you go like.
So the
They don't
ramp
make
thing
it.
was
Yeah.
different. That was just to get across to
Right.
other sides.
I remember that.
thingies.
But when he'd do
Yeah.
that other thing, like in the garden, you'd come towards the screen and have that little thing that you can jump
Yeah,
off. And he does that
yeah.
like the rush and his hair whips back,
Oh, yeah.
and then you just
Oh,
pull it
that's
off the back of the
right.
screen, and
I
then
want
you,
to talk about
you show
his-
up on the other side.
his hair and stuff because that was always my favorite part. I
His
thought
hair.
when Will would jump off like even just anything he would jump off of and it would like
That was a
he did
damn
this
good
cool
animation.
little like animation where he was like doing this really the stylish
like-
fall. His arms would be out, his neck would be up, and he'd land
lands
all
like-
like anime
That's
style.
right.
Like Dragon Ball stuff. He'd land with one
Yeah.
fist on the ground and
Yeah.
one knee cocked, like
That was always cool.
heaving, just like.
Let me tell you about
like, dang kid, you are
Will's motions.
intense.
That kid, when he ran places, would run with his arms out,
yeah,
swinging like 90-degree angles.
I remember
And as a
that.
child, I literally ran like that because I'm like, this kid in the game does it. You got to be fast as hell doing that. That's how that works.
That's all that's precious.
It's like so I would run like this for like a solid couple months.
Your mom's staring at the window. What the hell is
Did you have
wrong
any
with
friends in those couple of months?
No,
I didn't know you, yeah, but I would have liked you. That's a cool trait to have in a
he's
friend.
running like Will.
I would
Runs like
liked
the
you-
guy from Illusion of
I
Guy.
would have liked you as soon as you explained what you were doing. Like, oh, dude, let's kick it.
I would just start running like that.
Let's put a Mega Man. Let's put a plastic cup on our hands, and we fucking Mega
a
Man at the
Pringles
same time.
can?
Yeah.
Do you still run like that?
No,
No.
You determined that it wasn't a faster.
no, I have much more efficient ways of running.
Now you just turn
I
into
see.
a knight with longer hair.
Yeah,
Right.
That's the best way to do it.
There's some
Turn
OP
into-
dude that comes into a bottle.
Yeah, yeah. I liked
Dang.
that they were kind of like sort of historical references in the game,
Like the Tower of Babel.
yes,
Right.
and the Incas and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Just loosely.
yeah,
Just thrown in there. And it
what
wasn't.
were the
not
like
canon,
ghosty skull things that were like super creepy looking,
Oh.
and they were like aliens or something, right?
Oh man.
Yeah, and then they made the hummingbird. Remember? There
Oh,
was the
oh
hummingbird.
gosh, yeah.
what they're called, but anyway.
Yeah, I'm not
they
gonna
were
remember the name,
creepy.
the proper name.
That place
Yeah.
called Moo.
Moo, I
it
think it
Moo
was.
or
M-U.
I called it Moo.
Yeah.
We got
no,
a
that
lot of
sounds
name
like
things.
Is that the one where you had to do you had to push the formations into place in that big circle? Was that one?
Yeah, there was a bunch
man.
of water everywhere, and you drained it. I think. And you
This
went
is-
as Will, and you slid under like dark thing.
Oh, yeah.
Little like rabbit holes.
This is a game that they need to release like on some like a
Like on the Wii Shop channel or
3DS
something? Yeah.
remake or
Oh,
something
man.
like that. Or I'd like
And then you fought.
actually I don't even know who owns the rights to
So many games
these
need to do
games
that.
anymore.
Who did this? Was
Nintendo
it was
published it
Nintendo?
on Super Nintendo, yeah, but I don't
It was
know if
an
they
Enix
developed
game,
it.
wasn't it? Or Enix game, right?
I don't know if they developed. They might have just published it in America. Maybe I don't know
Really?
who the actual developer was. This requires internet.
Yeah, we should look
Internet me because it's not on the
Actually,
OG
I
box.
have the new-
We have the box in front of us, listeners. It ain't even on there.
Well, it just says Nintendo.
Quintet, published by Enix and Nintendo.
Oh, dude, they don't even show you Shadow on the back of the box.
No, because he's a secret.
Surprise.
Because he's a hell of a secret.
I don't even know who Quintet
Quintet
is.
makes everything that's awesome.
Oh, okay.
Quintet made ActRaiser.
Final Fantasy
Oh,
7.
that's right. Oh,
They make and they made Soul Blazer and Terra Enigma also.
yeah.
But-
Well, that
Well,
makes
that's,
Yeah.
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 That's
Oh,
the
We
trill.
need to talk about ActRaiser in one of these games.
Okay,
Anyway,
fair enough.
But this is Illusion of Gaia time.
This is Illusion of Gaia moment.
There's a thing. A lot of the time, I think back on games I've played, and I realize like, how did I have the patience for that as a child when I don't have the patience for anything now? And one of the things that Illusion of Gaia did, like a lot of games did in that era, was have you talk to people, and you would talk to everyone until you found that one fucking guy in town who would trigger an event allowing you to go
Yeah.
find the next guy you need to find in town. And you'd be like,
I do love
well, let's
that.
run back inside. Oh, wait, this NPC moved. Let's
don't-
talk to them. They're standing next to one of these people who I recognize because the 3 people or 4 people you bring from town.
That made you sharp and observant, I think. Like, if anybody says, "Oh goodness, you're observant now," I blame that on video games, or I attribute it to video games, because this is like that lady moved. She was next to the inn, and now she's selling apples next to the bar.
I'll tell
Like-
you that is something I liked back in the day. That's something I don't like anymore.
Yeah,
because
we're talking about
'cause
Bravely
of
Default
13.3,
now.
right?
13.3 is the one I was talking about.
Oh.
Like that game.
Where you had to sit in the
Pisses
city
me
for
off.
2 hours
They
finding
just
the
say-
right person.
Yeah, they're like, go find these 4 things,
Well,
and
and
it's
the
in
city
this
is
city.
like-
the city's fucking huge. They don't
It's
give you
20
any
times the
clues.
size it would have been when you were little, so
Yeah.
that's the big
I don't
downfall.
know.
You had
Nope.
6 people to go find in the original
Walking
games when
around
you
for
were
like
little.
2 hours in that city, just talking to people and getting frustrated as hell. And I don't know. It just makes me not want to play the game.
So fake.
But it's so fake.
Yeah.
Real. They should have had like a giant arrow above my head pointing me in the right direction.
Yeah, right.
Cities then were 3 screens and possibly a 4th screen if you count all the insides of all the buildings, and the one building that will probably have stairs or a ladder to the roof that you can then talk to someone and jump off of.
Hell yeah! And watch his hair flow. I thought this game had great music. I thought the game had great dungeons, great bosses.
Yeah.
It was just grand and epic back in the day when they didn't have many experiences like this. I mean, it was almost like like a Legend of Zelda type thing with combat and bosses and dungeon crawling, but it felt completely unique and very memorable.
But even on the back of the box,
Yeah.
they always have that one boss that looks like the Secret of Evermore boss.
Oh yeah, Secret of Evermore is a game we could talk about.
Everybody, and we will.
Yeah.
But every freaking SNES game that was free, like Chrono Trigger, like kind of this kind of a thing, they had that one boss that's all like,
Red and
Big thing that pops up out of the ground.
Yeah.
And it's like,
"Oh, it's another one of my radio stunts. Nobody can see me, but I'm doing like a
on the back of the box, it's
freaky crab."
it specifically says 60 hours of gameplay.
Oh my
Wow.
god!
So, like,
And it delivered.
Unprecedented.
On that 60 hours.
Yeah,
Also,
it did.
22 locations if you purchase your games on a per location basis.
Like, my
Right.
goodness.
This game's
We
only got
sell
18
this-
locations.
right.
This shit out of here.
This game sucks.
It's one of the things on old games that
I
I
only
love
buy
when they'd be like,
themes are
collect over
available.
9 weapons, including pistols and night vision goggles. You're like,
What?
that doesn't even count. That's not a weapon.
No.
You don't just have 12 pieces of equipment and say, like, a pistol, a super blaster. You're like, what's a super blaster even? What is that going to be?
Or what even is a super blaster?
Super.
Super. Oh, get a little super blaster.
Laser tasers and shock rocks.
So, but I just realized that this whole segment is going to be us like sucking this game's dick.
You know what? The
It's
game
pretty much
is
just
like-
us going like, "Oh man,
Someone's got to suck it, okay?
that's true."
Yeah. It hasn't
Damn it,
had
this-
any action in a while, so.
Yeah, it's your turn. Suck the game's dick. So, anyways,
It deserves praise. It's good.
That game.
It would actually be really cool if they were to release a Soul Blazer, Illusion of Gaia, Terra Enigma like
Right.
3-pack on one cartridge
On
on
a-
3DS or something.
or-
It's not like-
yeah.
People would play Soul Blazer.
People would be able to play Terranigma.
Play Soul Blade. You're right.
You'd be able to play Terranigma in America for the first time ever.
Yeah.
That's true.
Terranigma never came out here, despite being completed in English, for the European version.
That's so jank, too.
I know.
You gotta release that here.
It's so dumb.
It's completed.
Terranigma's
Just release that shit.
Awesome.
It's
Yeah.
so good.
Terranigma is fucking amazing. Like,
And
it needs to be
that's
something-
the first in the trilogy, correct?
as far as
Soul Wizard's
time-wise,
first.
I don't know.
Or is it first? Then comes.
It was released
I know.
first.
I
then
know.
Illusion of Gaia,
As far as
then
release schedule,
Chronological.
I don't know
yeah.
what the chronological thing is, but I want to read it back.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you mean about the Secret of Evermore.
Yeah,
Red
every
boss.
game had that boss that was
But on
red
the cover of
and
Secret of Evermore wasn't
was the boss.
wasn't
Yeah, it had
that-
like these bone rib cages.
Yeah,
and
but
this
it was
little
like
insect head,
it
like,
wasn't this. It was like the actual drawing. Yeah.
and he like crabs after you. Like
See, this makes it look like you can fly in the game, but that's just him jumping.
that's a little
A
misleading.
little bit, but that's okay.
Yeah,
I love
I forgave
this.
it immediately. It has that quaint little charm where you start out in that little town of nowhere, and you're like in school, and the instructor's like, "One of these is this," and that little box comes up and it's like, "Oh, my clothes are green, my words are green," and it shows you that the
Yeah.
instructor is telling you like, "Oh, in this land where you do a thing," and you're nodding off in class. You go out, this town is hella cute, and all of a sudden you're just in the action. Well, not all of a sudden. You have to do some stuff. You have to go like to the
down
dock,
to the super cave.
to
They're
your
all sneaking.
yeah, to your cave, do some stuff. But after that game gets real, and like I lived as a very fearful child. I was afraid of like success. I didn't want to do things because it's like, oh no, the beginning part of the game is over and nothing's peaceful anymore. I'm scared to move. I don't want to do anything. So I got over that eventually. But that game, I didn't even mind playing it. I just got out there. I was like, you know what? This one isn't even that bad. I like it. I just like playing.
You guys know what Illusion of Gaia was called in Europe?
Illusion of Time?
Soul Blazer.
Yeah. Illusion of
Soul
Time.
Blazer.
Irene's good.
I just had the Wikipedia in front of me.
Oh,
You guys are hella cheating ass.
I know.
cheating ass.
That
Cheating
was-
ass.
Yeah.
No, that's interesting.
Yeah,
It is.
I like it. I was gonna say, I think a lot of Super Nintendo games hold up. Well, specifically the RPGs. Like,
A lot of Super Nintendo RPGs totally hold up. That's true. 'Cause if you think about your favorite RPGs, I bet you a lot of them be Super Nintendo games. Yours is.
I'm going to
I
say
think
most
they're
of mine
all-
is the
Mario
Mario
RPGs is. Yours is for mine. My favorite is in there too.
yeah, it's true.
It's an SNES group.
It is, I think.
Although also
I
we're-
played a lot of Sega.
Did you?
I loved the Sega, but
The
and it
Illusion
wasn't-
of Gaia to my Sega,
Yeah.
Beyond Oasis.
Right.
Oh, Beyond Oasis was dope. Love
dope.
Beyond
Yeah.
The
Oasis.
one where you were, what's his name? It's like, oh
Dope
no,
as
that's
hell.
the guy with the black glove, and this is the dude with the
Silver glove and
the
the,
silver
gold
glove
armlet.
and the-
gold
yeah.
armlet, silver armlet.
Like,
You
game.
can Chun-Li kick in that game.
And the Japanese cover is all like, hand-drawn art, but
Right.
that wouldn't sell in America.
He's
Yeah.
got more than 9 special moves. Does that mean 10?
Yeah, it's all arbitrary. It's like, is that a
More
lot?
than
Because
9.
some games have like hundreds.
Right.
Mortal Kombat's got like 1,000. This game's only got 9. This game sucks.
No, it's
Damn.
got
How many
more than
locations
9.
does it have though?
Let me tell you.
It doesn't tell you how many
They're
locations.
trying to hide how few locations. He said, mouthful of Illusion of Gaia's dick.
Illusion of Gaia.
There's gonna go.
Dick sucked.
Yeah.
Dick sucked. I think we might
Go into trivia.
we might have to
round
do
3.
the round trivia
Yeah.
trivia round 3.
Good luck, Aaron. You're all rooting for you. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Let's go, Aaron.
You got this? Handle the buzzer?
Actually, this is round 3, so I don't even know if there's enough questions if you got all of them right.
You would have to get all of them wrong.
That sounded arrogant. I'm sorry.
You'd have to do
I'd have to get them
bonus
all.
questions,
Yeah, I'm
and
sorry.
you'd have to do a tap out.
To be okay, so
Well, if he grabs
These could be tough.
each
I could get hella
question,
wrong. I can get them wrong.
each one of them wrong.
Yeah,
and
and you
I
can start getting them
come
right.
back and steal them or something.
You're correct.
these aren't
You're
that
totally
tough. I put 3 bonus questions in this last round.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No.
So
you're
there's
totally,
room-
You're totally in.
Depending on how she
I'm gonna
scored
sell
this,
his dick. That's how
this
down but not out. That's what you're saying.
Down but not out. Your shields are depleted, but if you hang out for long enough, they'll recharge. That's what modern gaming has taught us.
Yeah,
That's
if I lean
true.
against a wall,
You're
my
gonna
blood
handle
will
this.
go back in my body.
So trivia.
Final round.
Final round
I
3.
declare.
I declare. I decree.
I decree
I
it.
mean,
Round 3.
I declare,
decree
Mr.
it.
Trivia.
Specific game knowledge. 64 specific games.
okay. Are these
Things inside of
exclusives?
game. Yeah, I think so.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
But I think they mostly are.
All right.
Specific game knowledge. Tony Hawk 3, you are correct. Aaron, you have no chance because it was Tony Hawk 3. Actually, all 7 of these were Tony Hawk 3.
Tony Hawk 7.
Tony Hawk 7 is actually also correct. You guys both win.
Tony Hawk 7 is American Wasteland, isn't it? Anyway, keep going. Sorry.
Question 1, I decree it. What is the name of the rabbit you chase in Super Mario 64? No?
I don't know.
Aaron.
Tap it.
Oh!
All right.
Do we still have 2 of these?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody's,
I think I have
taps.
I think I have a guess, but I don't think it's right. So you're up.
Professor Bunny Ears.
You almost said brown
I
bottom.
almost did. I
It's a brown bottom.
no,
It is
no
not.
idea what the name of that rabbit is.
It is not. Does he have to guess or no? I don't know. How do I not know the rules of this game?
No, he does not have to. Guess.
Okay. Do you want to
I
guess?
was gonna say it's
Well, is it free guess or is it
Like
going to
a
get
hot
Is
penalized?
it a free guess or is it penalized?
You know, we never sussed that one out.
It's like hoppy.
So
Maybe that's a benefit
Negative.
of the tap. If you tap somebody,
You get
I get
to-
penalized and he gets free guess.
okay, yeah.
I thought that
That's
was
pretty
that
good.
was the whole point of it is make someone get penalized if they don't know it.
That's
If I get a free
Shadow
guess
right
too,
there.
that's double good.
I
We
guess
should have been
that's
using
true.
those a long time ago.
True.
Dub good.
Dub good.
What was your guess?
Fucking hoppy.
Flop.
Hoppy.
or Hoppy or something
That's
like
about
that.
as good as Professor Bunny Ears.
Bunny ears.
What's,
or
his
bunny,
name? What's
bunny
the name of the
bottom.
rabbit?
Mips.
Oh my
Mips?
They're not even rabbit pun.
god. I know.
No,
That's dumb.
Yeah.
it was
It's
off
all
of
fake.
the. It was off of the. I think it was the way they processed the something micro.
Oh,
or something.
MIPS. No, MIPS was one of the companies that helped develop the
Oh, there you
chip
go.
architecture for the 64.
Yes, that was it.
Yeah.
And it was named after that.
Okay.
Mips.
See, I could have answered that question.
You could have, but I didn't ask.
For a
it.
bonus, what is MIPS?
Yeah, because then Aaron would have been fucked big time. It's just like architecture. Forget what.
The
Screw
fucking
this game.
rabbit.
I
Fuck
quit.
the damn rabbit. Ninja chop.
You
that
Ninja kick the damn rabbit.
Damn rabbit. Yeah, but you all knew what I was talking about.
Yeah.
The rabbit that you chase in N64. Mario. Number 2. I decree it. In Banjo-Kazooie. Banjo-Kazooie, what is the only transformation that Mumbo Jumbo will perform by code and not by Mumbo Jumbo token?
Chris.
Tap.
Tap.
Interesting. Is this last round just going to be tap?
Washing machine.
Yes!
See, I told
Oh!
you can
Good
do
job.
that.
I thought you pulled that out of your ass.
I'm like, okay, I know it wasn't the gator, I know it
What the
wasn't.
hell?
He says washing machine, Chrissy was like, fool.
I thought you made that up.
You idiot.
I never played. Banjo-Kazooie I did not like. I played it. I rented it and I didn't like it.
You lose. You lose the game.
I'm not a. You know what?
You're not the scorekeeper, okay?
I'm not a Rare fan. Like Rare on Super Nintendo,
Interesting.
and on NES was like Battletoads.
Rare was
fantastic.
Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong Country was
Country.
fantastic. But then on 64 they did.
That Donkey Kong World
Well,
shit.
they did Donkey Kong 64, and they did Jet Force Gemini, and they did the Banjo games. I didn't like any of them.
I love Banjo.
They did Goldeneye, sure.
Perfect
but
Dark.
I liked Perfect Dark and Goldeneye, but that was about it. But those were-
Okay.
yeah.
Fair enough.
So you get double points, right? You get 2.
Do I? For
You
You get
do.
5 times.
5 times points
Wow.
for getting
Five?
screwed.
Five
Yeah.
times the point.
Holy shit!
But we do still have 2 screw, or 1 screw each, don't we?
One
So-
screw each,
So we're
and
still plenty screwed.
and 5.5 questions left because bonus. I decree it.
Oh dear.
What is the code to get the washing machine?
I'm just gonna say up, down, left, right, A, B.
Negative.
Yeah.
do you remember how do you punch in codes on that one?
You hit the letters on
In
the,
the
dumb
sandcastle.
thing, but
Yeah. Wishy-washy banjo.
oh,
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to answer. I could have got it.
You ain't no washing machine.
I know. I'm just playing.
You're-
I stupid Rare.
Oh.
That was a bad one. There you go.
yeah.
You gotta have the sting.
You do. You gotta have this, and it's a little bit stungy on right
Stung,
there.
yeah, you
Just a
go.
little bit. Number 3. I decree it. In Majora's Mask, the Zora Mask allows you to swim and fight underwater. The Goron Mask allows you to roll and lift heavy boulders. What does the Keaton Mask allow you to do?
Majora's
The
Mask was the
Keaton
one I
Majora's.
that's I least played Zelda. I never even beat that game.
I did roll a little deep on this one
I
then.
don't remember the.
You did.
I know what the
Sorry.
Keaton Mask looks like.
Yeah, I
don't know what
remember
it did.
in the first one.
I didn't even know there was Keaton Mask. I didn't.
This
play
is kind
Majora's
of kind of cheap question too.
Aaron,
Aaron.
tap.
I knew you were gonna do that.
Oh man.
I gotta guess again,
Yeah.
but I'm like, all right, that's dirty. Run fast.
No,
Nah.
Wait.
Wait, so you didn't tap him?
you didn't.
I went back on it, I guess, and it was
You're
'cause-
you're
You were
an
being honest,
You-
actually.
being a
'cause,
joke.
I mean, you both kind of were like,
I don't
Yeah,
know.
we need to be like stone faced
I never
poker.
We
did
should
Like,
have
Fine.
poker faces on this. I
felt
think.
that.
yeah.
We're like,
and I wasn't
oh, I
doing
got
the
this
5-second
one.
thing.
You
so-
didn't-
oh, I can't wait till he stops answering or questioning me. Except I could shout my name at any moment.
All right.
Chris.
I don't remember the Keaton Mask. I'm not gonna guess.
So no guess.
No.
It just lets you see Keaton, who then gives you a little puzzle to get a heart
That's
piece.
Like
dumb.
Michael Keaton.
Yes.
Like
And
multiplicity.
he goes like, "Hey, I don't want no scrubs." Like, is that a TLC reference?
Yeah.
Cap? I don't get the reference. I don't know what that is, guys.
Interesting. They had that in Majora's Mask, huh?
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah.
It was a little,
Yeah.
it was that little Pikachu looking thing.
No.
I remember the
TLC
Keaton
reference.
news, but I don't.
Yes, that was in Majora's Mask. Well, it was the only voice acted part of any
Yes.
N64 game, if you'll
Any
recollect.
N64 game. Yeah,
Well, all of the N64 games. None of them were voice acted except for that one.
definitely.
They got Michael Keaton's voice talent, who was actually working fairly cheap at that time.
Perfect Dark.
Dark.
Plenty of voice.
So
I'm just saying.
he gives you he lets you see Keaton. You like whack the grass or whatever like
Yeah.
that, and then he like lets you pop up when you have that Keaton mask. You're like, "Hey, this guy!" And then
I
you do
didn't
a little
like
puzzle
Majora's.
thing.
I didn't like Majora's Mask, man, because it made you
Thank
be
you.
I
in,
didn't-
like certain spots at certain times on certain days.
Right.
You had to have a
It was
strategy guide. to
very
play.
scheduled, and I'm not a scheduled type person. I like
Well, how would you know? I mean, there's a lot of times where you wouldn't. I don't think you would know unless you just happened to be at that point at that time on that day, or you looked up in a strategy
and
guide.
I hate that.
Or
about
you talk
gaming.
to someone
like
and
when
they're
you have to know
yesterday
specific
night I
knowledge,
went
but
out and
there's
saw the
no
moon
way.
look all crazy. Like, I guess next time Rewind Time will come out at nighttime
Yeah, I didn't like
and
that
see that guy seeing the moon, and he'd be like, "Thanks for coming by. Here's a pouch full of rubles." And you're like,
Rubles.
"Rubles."
I bought.
Like, I don't need rubies. This was a waste of my goddamn time, and I have unlimited time because I can rewind it.
You are Zelda Prince of Persia. Question 4, I decree it. In Star Fox 64, Falco becomes annoyed if you friendly fire upon him. Is everybody with me so far? What is the first and last name of the historic personality which he sarcastically refers to you?
Which who sarcastically refers?
Falco.
Oh,
The first and say that again.
In Star Fox 64,
No, it was a-
Falco gets annoyed with you when you friendly fire. What's the first and last name of the historic person to which he sarcastically refers you?
I
Refers
have
to
the
you.
wrong name, I think.
Just think about the line.
I'm thinking like, "Hey, this guy, watch where you're shooting." Kind of like, that's pretty much what I imagine that idiot
It's
doing.
pretty, like, that's the cadence of his voice.
Yeah. I remember him talking. I don't remember saying any specific person's name though.
It's good. I pulled this from my memory banks.
Wow.
Put this on here.
Is
I like it.
Did you want to play? Play or pass? Irene?
I'm just gonna say, for the chance that the scorekeeper loves me, wise guy.
Negative.
Hey, wise guy, I'm on your side.
Wise guy.
Yeah, you gotta know.
Yeah.
I remember the. I don't remember the name of the person. I remember him talking and
Benedict Arnold. That's what it was for.
Benedict Arnold.
Hey Arnold.
No, I don't know.
this
I'm
is a
gonna guess.
historical person? that
Yeah,
you're
wise guy
referencing?
is not a historical person.
Yeah, somebody from history. He says, "Hey Einstein, I'm on your side."
Oh yeah, Einstein's not a wise guy.
Albert Einstein was the correct answer.
Ah, okay.
That's what I'm like.
Yeah.
Wise guy doesn't make
You
sense.
No.
Tricky.
Definitely hey Einstein.
Sorry. Bonus question, however, I decree it. What buttons must one push to do a barrel roll?
Aaron.
Okay.
R or L or Z twice. Z or R.
0 or twice.
Can you do L?
Yeah, you could do well.
You could
Alright,
do it,
ZRL.
but they tell you to do
Yeah.
0 or twice. Push 0 or twice. To do a cat call. Question 5, I decree it. In GoldenEye's facility level,
It is all Aaron.
how many guards occupy the bathroom?
Aaron.
Aaron?
Oh no.
There's one in the stall. There's one outside the stall. There's 3? I thought it was just the 2 guys.
Oh shoot, unless I have this wrong. I think it's 4.
There's one,
Yeah.
because you come in and you're looking at him when you go down. You have
Yeah,
a
you
silence
have-
pistol, so you don't care. And you go in, this guy's standing in front of him but not doing anything because he's just a guy. There's a guy just outside the door. Might be another guy in another stall.
There is another guy in the stall.
So there's 3.
So there's one that's in the
There's
stall that
three.
you go down, there's one at the urinals, there's one in the stall next to...
So there's 3.
I gave so many answers there, though.
You said 2 first, and then built it to 3.
Yeah, I built to 3.
2 was
and
your
he
initial
seemed to think
answer.
it was 4.
I seem to think that it might still be 4. We
See,
can play through that.
I'm going to
outside.
give you the points because he doesn't really
Okay.
know,
True.
and you were rationalizing.
Hooray!
You remember what I was talking about, you get points. Awesome. Dang it, failure question. Question 6, I declare it. I don't decree it this time, I declare it. Name 2 of the 4 unlockable characters in Super Smash Brothers.
And Captain Falcon and Ness.
Yes.
Nice.
I had him. I'm like, was Luigi stock? No, Captain Falcon.
Luigi and Jigglypuff were the other ones.
Yeah.
But I didn't do a bonus question for this one.
Who are the other 2?
What's that?
The bonus question.
You
Who are
got
the other 2?
You got 2. Last question.
Did you give me that one?
I decree it. In the Ocarina of Time, Zelda, mind you, the Bigoron sword is the reward for a long chain of quests. And the first of these quests involves a Kuko. What color variant is that Kuko?
Chris. Tap.
Oh. Good usage.
I think I'm going to wait for Aaron to answer.
Brown?
Yeah.
Red.
Just name it off color.
I don't think it was yellow, but it might be gold, but I don't think it was that either. Too late.
It's too late. And now you get a free pass. You get a free...
Green.
No.
Okay, I don't remember.
Is it black?
Blue.
Blue.
Okay.
The blue pocket Kuko.
That's right.
the pocket.
Wow.
So now there was a bonus
I'm just
question, the
thinking
last bonus question.
Okay.
I was wondering, it's related to this, so now if nobody knew the color of it, I'm not sure anybody would get this. Does anybody remember that Kuko's name? It has a proper name. Which is the only... I pulled this one from a member banks, too.
Man, I don't remember that.
And then I checked
That's
it on...
right.
I don't know what's
don't
the
know.
name of it.
Kojiro.
Gogiro.
Don't
That's
remember
cute.
Yeah.
I remember getting the Bigoron sword. I used to get the Bigoron
Yeah. sword
like as early as possible.
I was hoping
As
so
soon as you
desperately
can.
that you were going to be like, what is the worst Bigoron sword? But Giant's Knife. But... Because you're like, I get like 3 good hits and then I hit something wrong and it breaks.
Right. That was dumb. But anyways, that's been trivia this round.
Woo!
You both did
Fun.
You both did well.
Woo!
Yeah, you fucked me in like at
Just
the, in
said
that last
woo.
round. See, I knew it was gonna.
Did you lay down and die? How dare you?
Yeah.
I don't think I
Yeah.
I've been getting like 5 times points for one. I screwed up too many.
So
I threw like 3 of those away.
You were negative for a minute, but
We
yeah,
have-
you're good.
I was gonna say we have to figure out punishments, but I just, as moderator, I wanted the same one. I like the impression thing. I think it's
Yeah,
funny.
you knew it. You would, yeah.
We're gonna do that.
It's gonna be funny if it's Aaron.
But first, it'll be funny if it's you.
It's gonna be horrible.
But first, who would win in a fight?
WW.
We got the old dub
Dub
dot. Who would win in a fight?
Dub,
dot
dub,
com.
dub.
Dub cubed.
John, who would win in fight?
So much
John in
W.
fight. Well, this week, I guess we were wondering Dante from Devil May Cry.
Dante Basco?
Not sure what era, but Dante Basco, circa 1984.
Yes.
Versus Bayonetta from the self-titled thing. I don't know. Self-titled game. Again, not sure on era. I don't know if that's up to me. But if we did just first game from either, it's not fair, because I don't think that's fair. So we'll say...
Why is it not fair?
Because Dante in the first game, runs around and fights monsters. He doesn't climb up the arms of
Right.
gigantic angel beasts
Yet.
yet.
He doesn't
So
do
we'll say
anything extra.
DMC 4 before the reboot.
Interesting.
Okay.
DMC4 Dante's badass though.
Right.
Like,
That's the idea, because he's got to fight someone who went
You have
into
to
their
make it
series.
Evenly matched.
Guillotining
to,
angels.
to Bayonetta. Because she just comes out the gate, like, killing stuff and not even, like, moving her glasses.
Mm-hmm.
She's just cool from the outside.
Bayonetta's power level, like, immediately seems
Over 9,000.
great, but because of all the like crazy transformations she does and the like ridiculously sized attacks that she does with her hair,
Right.
But Dante, you gotta say something for fighting ability, because Dante's fighting ability, like just being able to stand toe to toe with anybody, I don't think he could be matched in his universe. Because
Alright.
Bayonetta has power, but can she use it well enough to hit Dante at all?
Well, and she can use it against... This is the thing, is they can use it against big derpy demons and stuff like that. Can they use it effectively against each other?
Dante can teleport also. He can turn into a demon and fly.
Wait, can she teleport? Does she do a teleport thing?
She
Does
does
she have like a
She has
little...
witch time, which
She
slows
does have
down
witch...
time.
But she doesn't do that little
She
thing
doesn't
where she
teleport.
like... She doesn't hit and do that thing and then she like zips over to another... I thought she did do that, no?
It's
They're
a
both
really
so
hard
upgradable.
match. This I might almost call a draw.
A dead even? Can we do that?
I
We
don't see
can,
why
but
not.
that's on an individual basis. Like,
Yeah.
somebody gives it an even, and someone else says, "No, Dante would totally win because he's got the devil trigger," or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I would say that Bayonetta's like a hair above.
Ah,
Oh, I see what I did there.
hair above.
Oh.
I see what I've done.
Yeah. Oh,
I like that.
I
I do too.
Um,
I am funny.
Man.
What do you give it to?
I think I'm
Aaron.
going to give it to Bayonetta.
I was
Yeah?
also
Read
going to give
Bayonetta?
it to Bayonetta.
Your Bayonetta?
My gut instinct was Bayonetta at the beginning of this, and I'm fighting in my head Dante. I'm trying to make it happen. I think she would win.
I just think she has so many.
Although in my head, it's running from
abilities.
from DMC. They're fighting.
I would say
And she's winning.
since you're still debating.
I'm gonna give it to Bayonetta.
Okay,
Go for
so
it.
it's already Bayonetta. My vote's Dante though, mainly because of his experience, his fighting ability. I don't think that her power would hit him. I think that he would dodge or
Interesting.
be able to just counter. I think his fighting ability would be able to trump.
It's more applicable to this kind of combat.
Yeah.
She's got a barrage though. Like she's not just like big, like heavy sweeping
But I
shit
think
like
she
that.
could.
Like,
I think he could dodge that.
I think she could dodge though too. His stuff.
Maybe.
I think that you're gonna like hit on this little like Dragon
It's
Ball.
pretty.
thing where
It's pretty close. It's pretty close. I would
It
give it to
is.
Dante personally.
Interesting.
But mainly because I guess it's his experience. Like Bayonetta didn't have as much experience as Dante does. Dante, for a living, hunts down demons and devils and beats them all like stylishly and is never even tripping about it.
I would argue
But
the same
she-
for
Bayonetta
Bayonetta.
does the
Yes.
same shit.
She's like
just
a
hasn't-
even Lady Demon Hunter.
She just hasn't
lady.
done it as long, I guess. That's why I'd
Well,
give it to.
I mean-
I'm just saying in her fiction,
Sure,
she hasn't done it. Like Dante's been doing it his whole life,
I see.
and
Oh,
like
It seemed like she's just riding on raw talent and it coming naturally. She hasn't
Kinda,
been doing this forever.
sure.
But he's got like honed and
yeah,
And that's why I
Like, he's
kind
a
of think
master.
that
art of war.
that she has more potential. Like
yeah,
he's been doing this
because
forever.
If
and
if she's this
she's evenly
badass,
matched.
That's one of the
just on her
questions,
raw
yeah.
At the
talent,
beginning,
You gotta
yeah.
get a Wii U, play Bayonetta 2.
Damn,
Right.
that's not a system seller for me. But when I get a Wii U, I'm
Yeah.
playing that game.
I got a Wii U.
I'm getting it. That's one of the
Yeah.
first ones I get.
I'll buy it. When it comes out, I'll probably buy it for it.
I like it.
Yeah, I like Bayonetta a lot.
I
Bayonetta wins.
Bayonetta wins this one.
Unanimous.
It's incredible.
Bayonetta
At
wins,
least
and
3.
if we want, since we've already run over it, while we were sitting here, I came up with one more.
Okay.
Ooh, a dub.
Before we do it, why don't we announce who the winner of the trivia is, so that the person
So that the
who
person-
lost has
Yes!
to-
Discussion,
for their
let's.
punishment?
Do
punishment.
tell.
Yes.
Punishment.
So
This is gonna be such. You're gonna revenge me if you win.
If I washing machine this one away.
Yeah.
bring it to the
that
cleaners.
washing machine saved you, man.
Washington Machine. This is Bear Shock Infinite.
you came in with a very respectable 30 points.
Okay.
Oh,
30.
man.
30.
The dirty
We only
30.
had 7 questions per round.
How
True.
many, how many points were each
5
question?
per, I think.
5, and then
So I got the bonus question and +1 after all my negatives.
pretty much.
Yeah.
You were making up
Yeah.
from deficit.
So that
Yeah.
for that one bonus question was worth 25 points?
25.
Holy shit.
I know. Yeah, it's 5 times the points.
Man.
And it was only for if he was tapped out.
Right.
Yeah. So, but Chris came in with 48 points.
48
48
points.
points.
Phew.
Where's
So
This
It's a
the
weird number with 5s.
I gave him a bonus for knowing both of the original and 64
Okay.
games.
Oh,
Yeah.
it is up to her discretion.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like when
Did
I
you give
gave
him
a
any-
+1 and you guys would have been tied +1.
At various points,
Did
you
you
will
get-
get a star, a thumbs up, extra points.
triple S ranking. Did you give him any extra points for the snarky Einstein, the wise guy thing? Not at all.
I did not, but I did give him the points for that one, the Golden Knight
The
costume.
Golden
I want to
Fine.
scorekeep next time. I want to see how I do for
How you
scorekeeping.
handle.
How I handle
That's
scorekeeping.
I'll come up with
Yeah.
the questions then.
Okay.
And then,
How
well,
about
I'm
you
also itchy to
come
play.
up with a punishment.
And a punishment?
Well, right now.
He did walking last
Oh.
time.
You are the better man, and I defeated before
Anakin, you had the higher ground.
How about Wesker?
No.
Okay.
Just because I know he has a great Wesker.
Hey Wesker, what was the other dub you had?
Wow.
Who wanted to fight
Wow.
Wesker?
I'd like to know between Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, Daisy Kong, Cranky Kong, and that big launch pad.
Funky Kong?
Was it funky?
No, yeah, Funky had the surfboard. He was the dude.
Very well. That
See, I'm so happy.
they will
You
do.
have to always win trivia.
They will do combat against Knuckles and the Chaotix.
Oh, okay.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Let's look over the Chaotix real quick.
You've got the Gator.
That is
You've got the
Victor.
Yeah, and then you've got the
Charmy,
Yeah.
Espio,
Espio, yeah.
and the Armadillo. I can't recall.
Sandshrew.
Sandshrew. Yes.
Wesker knows.
against the Kongs.
Yes.
King.
King.
The dildo.
Dildo Kong?
Kong, the Kong dildo.
Oh, okay.
The man knows his toys.
I do.
I don't know.
Well,
Wesker, up top, Wesker.
there's the... Yes! There's the one more. Your fast travel in Donkey Kong Country. That's why I call him Launchpad.
That's funky.
I can't
Oh,
remember.
no.
Was it funky?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the guy that shoots you into the barrel and goes, boom. He's like something gets you on the flip side.
Funky's
And then-
Travels or something is like
Yes.
Ah, they're one and the same.
yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Good.
He Shyamalan'd you.
Frankie's totally playable in the Tropical Freeze.
Okay.
He plays like Scrooge McDuck. He bounces on his cane and stuff.
He used to be the old Donkey Kong, wasn't he?
Was he?
I think he's the one that they.
He represents the Atari version.
Really?
Like the original Kong that's throwing the barrels at Mario, that Jumpman.
Dude,
Does
let's
that
hear
make him
fucking
really
knowledge.
old then? Is Mario well kept?
All that peach vagina.
What?
So I would give it
I
to
could eat a peach
immediately.
for hours.
I could eat a peach.
I could eat a peach for hours.
Wesker trying to do face-off?
Face-off references. Knuckles
Happy
Chaotix.
day, it's Castatron.
This should just be the Wesker show. Wesker, say this line from this movie.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Mr. Falcon.
Mr. Falcon.
From the TV edit, if you'll remember.
I do.
Mis-
Well, enough of that. Let's...
Knuckles Chaotix they only have one game that they're in, right? I mean, those guys in any other
Yeah.
games. Oh, they're in
Yeah.
Sonic R, I think, actually. That racing game for Saturn.
All pretty much games where you jump on things.
I think the Donkey crew works incredibly well together. Even in newer iterations of the game, and I guess in the newest iteration of the game, they have little combo team up moves.
Yeah.
So Diddy has that little rocket pack thing. Dixie still does the spin, but they can huck each other and stuff. They're surprisingly effective
They
for
have
what
synergy.
they are.
But in the Chaotix game, they have a fucking ring and a wire that connects them, and it limits their ability to go too far apart from each other. That's
That could be a downside.
a big downside.
Well,
Yeah.
you can't leave the same screen
Yeah.
in Donkey Kong.
True.
The same thing.
Unless you're dead. and then
Unless
you're found
you're
in a
dead.
barrel somewhere.
Yes.
And then you're found in a barrel with a clone of you. That game is actually very dark.
Go open
There's
that barrel.
cloned ass Diddy Kongs everywhere.
That game is actually the Prestige.
There it is.
Spoilers.
Yep, Christopher Nolan. Fucking
I
Donkey
didn't
Kong
see
Country.
that.
Statute of limitations, Wesker.
Yeah. Statue.
Where you been? Probably in
five.
Oh, it came out while I was at Blockbuster.
Oh,
I just didn't watch it.
that's on you.
Didn't get around to it.
That's on
All
you,
right,
Wesker.
votes.
Sorry.
Voting.
Donkey. I give it to the Donkey crew.
Wesker.
I'll save my judgment.
Irene.
Reserved.
Ice taco. I don't know.
Ice Taco.
Ice Taco.
Ice
Yes!
taco.
The return!
meta
I changed
joke.
my top 3 to the return of Ice Taco.
That is a
Yay.
Just now.
I give it to Donkey Kong.
Chris.
Donkey Kong. The Kongs. For sure.
As well.
Yeah.
Experience.
Yeah.
I don't think.
favors
I
the
think that if
Kongs.
Knuckles jumped on top of one of the Kongs, they wouldn't feel it. They're giant gorillas.
Except Diddy, Dixie, they might feel it.
They're
Like,
bigger than an
an
echidna.
Yes.
An echidna's fucking.
I mean,
And technically, Knuckles can kind of not fly but
can
float,
punch.
but so can Diddy, and he flies too. He's
And
got a little
Donkey's
fart
super
barrel.
strong. And he throws barrels.
Yes.
well then.
It's
We'll
the Donkey
give it to the
crew.
Kongs.
What was yours?
Complete global monkey around.
Domination. What's it better than a barrel of
Monkeys.
dang it
What did you want me to say?
monkeys?
I did.
All right.
I'm gonna
I
lose.
thought I displeased you.
No, I'm so very pleased.
Good.
There's a tear.
All right. Bayonetta and the Kongs.
Bayonetta and the Kongs opening for Knuckles this weekend at the Ace of Spades.
Opening for the Knuckle Draggers, headed by Donkey.
So it's not racist.
No. Well, and it's also not Knuckles, ironically.
True.
It's not what you expected. It's Donkey.
Nice.
This is the end of line.
It's gonna wrap up the show for this week.
In the
End of
line.
Like in
Tag out.
that's the tag out. Tap out.
Tap out.
Tap out trivia was a success, I feel. The show was good. Thank you to everybody who wrote in. Thank you for everybody who's here. I love making the show. We love making the show. It's better when you write in. So write in again if you feel so led. Also, 5-star reviews are cool on iTunes. Shares or likes on Facebook. Fan art, of which we've received 5 pieces that I'm keeping to myself.
Really?
No.
Oh.
But mail in also with questions, comments, or art. I think it's multitap at fistfulpotions.com. And we're on Twitter. It's at MultiTap Podcast.
Yeah.
So that ends it. That's how to contact us. I'm going to let the Monsignor lead us out. End of line.
End of line.
Wesker. My new favorite thing.
Thus concludes the MultiTap broadcast. Gramercy to every listener, and many welcome returns. If so led, the hosts encourage 5-star ratings and reviews on iTunes. If you should like to contact the hosts of MultiTap, or give general public comment, they may be reached by way of Facebook at MultiTap Podcast, Twitter at MultiTap Podcast, or personal phone number, which they wisely refuse to give publicly. MultiTap is made possible in part by Fistful of Potions and viewers like you. We shall return, as scheduled, in MultiTap Theatre.